What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title, we about to get into it. But before we get into that, let me get into the chat. Dee. What up, though, Dee? Appreciate you, sir. Bud Files, what up, though? I hope the family good. I hope the family great. Appreciate you. Yeah, so we're gonna rock out tonight. We're gonna talk about the importance of emotional intelligence, right? You know, this is a common topic over here, you know. One of my favorite topics because this would change, you know, gave me the comprehension and understanding to help me evolve. So, you know, the importance of it, because not only I just hear, you know, people speak on the topic, and it's not hard, but a lot of times it's taken out of context. Even the understanding of the methodology of it is definitely took out of context. So we're going to talk about, you know, I'm going to break it down point by point why it's important. I thought I still had my, I don't think I have them up here. I can possibly put them real quick though. But no, I don't have my banners up here, you know, describing the different processes of emotional intelligence. But I think I do got it on my phone. But anyway, we're going to get into it. So why is emotional intelligence important, right? And this is just something off observation. We ain't got to go into no psychology or philosophy or none of that. Just on our own personal life experiences, right? If you think how often you did something and regretted it, and you realize it was impulsive because of the way you felt at the time, right? A lot of times we do things off of impulses of our emotions, how we feel. We make choices. And you know the difference between a choice and a decision. The decision is well thought out. The choice is something, you know, is either A or B, or a limited. You have limited things to choose from, right? That's choices. So there's a limitation behind it. It's not well thought out. It's just I'm gonna either do A or B. So a lot. East Dad, what up though? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. So a lot of times, because of the way we feel, we make impulsive decisions or choices, however you want to word it. And those things we later regret. So that's one important aspect of emotional intelligence, is being aware that the way we feel dictates the way we think, and the way we think dictates the action or recourse we take, right? So just taking all that in, right? The way we feel creates a thought. The thought is creating an action. And we know when we get in those angry, upset, when we get in those emotions, those feelings, a lot of times we do things that we later regret. So one of the important things is self-control, right? That's why the process of emotional intelligence is important. So emotional awareness, being aware how I feel will dictate the way I think, and the way I think will dictate what I do, right? It's the process. So if I know I'm not feeling right, maybe I shouldn't make a decision right now. Maybe I should calm down. And that's even if you're feeling good. Now think about this. How many times you done felt good about something and you did and you regret, like, hold on, man. I was just feeling myself at that time. I didn't really take everything in consideration. I was just feeling myself and made a decision and it was the wrong one. So not only a negative feeling, wherever you're making bad decisions, but also a positive feeling. That's why you'll often hear me say, never get too high, never get too low. Because even when we feeling ourselves, we make irrational decisions, and those decisions can cost us later. So it's all about action, but understanding what dictates action. Yeah, we can say thought, we think and do, but what is that thought influenced by? You'll often hear people say influence dictates thought dictates behavior. Right? That's true. But what are you influenced by? The way you feel about things, right? Take it back to the beginning, take it to the root. What are you influenced by? The way you feel, man. The way we feel dictates the way we think. The way we think dictates the way we do. So if we ain't got control of that emotion, that feeling, feelings are just byproducts of emotion, you know. So that's all a feeling is a byproduct of the emotion. Exactly, a happy medium. That's where we gotta get. That's where humility exists. That's where humble, exists at that happy medium. I had to learn that. Like I said, even practicing martial arts, I'm already bigger and stronger and sometimes faster than everybody else. Right? I had to be humbled a couple times because I'm bigger, stronger, faster. I think I'm more athletic. I think I got all these things working for me, but it's just people more skilled. So it basically nullified everything about me. Just the skill, the time they put in, the wisdom of the art. That was enough to nullify all my attributes. So yeah, I've been humbled a couple times. So and understanding that, like, okay, I got all these good things, but this person, so I got to approach it differently. He probably already 10 steps ahead of me, so I got to at least walk back 5 steps, and that way I can kind of hang with him. Because like my sinful, he was older. I couldn't touch this man. Faster, stronger, bigger, everything. Couldn't touch this man. He can touch me though. He was just more naturally skilled. So yeah, even feeling good a lot of times, it can be a bad thing. Too much of anything can be bad. That's just the reality of it. Too much of anything can be bad, and that's good or bad thing. But the awareness, knowing how you feel, is important. That's the first step of emotional intelligence, is being aware of not only how you feel, but identifying why you feel that way. So these are all the benefits, because a lot of times we feel like when we look on things on the outside, it's from a lens or perspective of our understanding of it. So sometimes we feel bad about something good because we don't have enough knowledge about it, or the original experience we had with it wasn't fruitful. It wasn't good for us. So we'll feel bad because we ain't got all the knowledge or information or even the experience about something. So understanding not only how you feel, but why you feel that way. A lot of times people be angry. It's oftentimes, I use myself for example. It's oftentimes I got angry and the person I'm angry at was just a target, bro. Honestly, I wasn't even really mad at that person. I was more mad at myself. And I took it out on that person. Oftentimes when people are angry at people, they not really angry at them. That person probably did the same thing 100 other people probably did. But just at this point in time right now, I'm already upset, already feel some type of way about something. And then this person comes along, and guess what? Now I have a target for my aggression, for my anger, for my sadness, for my anxiety, whatever those lower emotions are. But then when you think back, even if someone said something to me today, right? If someone, like last night we was talking about people using the term monkey against black people. Well, I had an experience, where a store owner threw bananas at me, told me to get out of the store, called me a monkey, throwing bananas. I don't know if that's just because that was the closest thing to him, but he threw bananas at me. 2 of them. Mr. Gary Busted Down Brown, how you living? How you feeling? What up, Nine? Appreciate you. Riders, what up, Nine? Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. But yeah, I had that experience. So now when people, associate black people to monkeys, I'm triggered by that because of that experience. Right? Because I had that experience. But see, I'm aware of that and I can articulate that. But a lot of times we're triggered by things and we just know we triggered, but we don't go back to the root of it to understand why we trigger. That's why emotional awareness is important, because if you can understand why things trigger you, why certain things bring certain emotions out of you, you can do something about it. You can actually do something about it now. But if you ain't aware, it ain't nothing to do. You just go impulsively, capriciously react. So the second reason emotional intelligence is important, because the second part of emotional intelligence is emotional regulation, being able to control or house the way you feel, so you don't make a decision. So the first one is just being aware. Okay, I know why I feel the way I feel, but that don't mean you can properly regulate it. That don't mean you're in control of that emotion. So, we talk about breathing exercises. You hear a lot of people say when they trigger, what they do, they breathe, they step away, they step back. I used to walk away. When I began first practicing emotional regulation, when I get upset or mad, I moved away. Even sometimes to this day, if I'm really upset or heated, I have to step away. Because anyway it go, I'm not going to save it to the last point. But anyway it go, it's in you. So eventually it has to come out of you. So being able to control it, to regulate it, that's the second part. And is important, because think of it, if you at your job and you need this job to support your family, if you need this job to support your family or the way, you living, you need that job. So being able to control your emotions, somebody might be a customer, might be an employee, might be your boss, might be your coworker, your boss, anybody. If they trigger you and you do something irrational, you can lose that position you're in. And people will test you in life. They will try to trick you out your position. By what? Influencing the way you feel. Why? Because the way you feel is going to dictate the way you think. The way you think is going to dictate what you do. And a lot of times, look, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of times when you emotionally charged up, you bypass the thinking aspect. You don't think, you just do. It's I feel then do. I feel then do. You totally the thinking is the filter of your emotion, right? Think of it like that. Being able to rationalize, that's like a filter. That's the way you filter that emotion. That's just some sauce I'm throwing out there. That's just some sauce. But yeah, thinking is the filter of your emotion. So being able to regulate, being able to control, so you don't make an impulsive decision. So you don't bypass that thinking part. So, okay, I'm mad. What's the next step? You got to think about self. I'm upset right now, so I don't want to do nothing I regret later. So I'm going to just walk away from the situation, because right now I ain't feeling it. That's what I used to do all the time. Like, man, I'm going to bust somebody in their head. Let me walk away. Let me get away. That's regulation. That's you controlling it. Now you might have to take yourself out the situation, and that's not a loss. That's showing self-control. That's showing that you can be upset and not react. You can be upset and not let that emotion override you, override your thinking. You can be upset. It's okay. People get mad. Look, I'm not going to sit up here like I don't get upset or nothing like that. No, I be getting pissed off, bro. I be getting pissed off, but that's why emotional intelligence is important, because the key component, the regulation of the emotion. Right. So the third reason, then I'm going to drop the link. But the third reason, right, is emotional expression. So once you become aware and now you regulating it, guess what you can properly do? You can express yourself or that emotion in a way that's beneficial to you and not detrimental to you. That's the key. Because look, like I said, it got to come out, right? Commander in the building, what up, 9? The Minister of the General Defense is in the building. What it do with the business is. Stop playing, my general here. But it's the expression of that emotion. And you express yourself in a way where it's beneficial. That should be the goal. Why would I express myself in a way that's detrimental? Where I'm going to have regrets? Where I'm choosing to take steps back instead of step forward, because you like it or not, it's a choice to express yourself. You don't have to. So that's the choice. So the way you express yourself should be beneficial. If it's not, it's detrimental. It's a coin. You go get one or the other. It's going to benefit you or it's going to take away from you. You go gain or you go lose. Breaking even, you can argue that. You can argue that. But I think breaking even is losing. What I put in for if I ain't getting nothing out of it. And that's anything. What am I putting in? If it's my time, my attention. That's why yesterday I'm like, hold on, bro. Nah, man. This ain't benefiting me in no type of way. I ain't getting nothing from this. It's just going back and forth. I'm straight, bro. My time, I'm looking like, bro, fuck that. I can be asleep. We sitting there arguing. No, it's nothing. You ain't getting nothing out of it. So now let's bring it back. Let's do this so we can get something. So the expression of your emotion is in you. It's going to come out. It's a part of the process of you living. And the fourth benefit is because that's what you gain through emotional intelligence, self-control. You gain control over self. You become the master of your emotions. And if you can control your emotions, you can control the way you think. I ain't going to say control the way you think. You can, you can better, filter your thoughts. That's one aspect that's not influencing your decision making, is the way you feel, because now you gain control of that, and that's a process, man. New levels, new devil. So even when you think you got it, you're gonna be tested to see if you really got it. You may have it in certain areas, right? And that sounds crazy. How am I have emotional intelligence in certain areas? Because it's different aspects of life that you encounter daily, right? It can be friends, it can be family, it can be social, it can be work. So you may master it with family, but then you go to work, oh, I can't stand these people. There's more incentives to master or have emotional intelligence around your family. More incentives, better relationships with family members, draw closer. When you're working, like, you don't know if these people coming or going. You don't know if you coming or going. This is only temporary. So the incentive rate dropped. But those are my 4 reasons Emotional intelligence is important. And I was hoping Ozzy, I'm kind of doing this to pick at Ozzy because Ozzy don't believe. He said emotional intelligence is bull crap. But I beg to differ. And I have that discussion on the benefits of it, and I can lay it out in a way where it's tangible. Like you can actually practice it. Because a lot of times when we don't practice things, we don't understand all the variables, and not understanding all the variables, you won't get the most benefits out of it. Wild Heart, what up, though? I was just watching you on Speak before I went live.
Oh, did you see that? Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Wild over there. Y'all wild over
Good
there.
to see you, man. How you doing, man?
I'm just chilling, bro. I'm just chilling. I just went over the importance of emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Do you understand the argument? Because Speakeasy didn't.
Oh man, what y'all talking about? And this is what I say about y'all argument, bro.
Yeah.
And it's valid with him. I can understand your standpoint. With him, it can be valid because you're talking about the understanding of the Christian God. But it was a couple things like when you said what makes God all powerful. I will argue literally the translation of the names. El Shaddai, that means Almighty, which can be considered all powerful. Elohim, the Most High, the most powerful one. That's what Elohim means in the Hebrew.
But the point is, you can't start with the Christian God and say, I believe in the Christian God and he has these attributes. The argument is, how did he get those attributes? I can't grant you the Christian God with those attributes because the argument doesn't work. If God has always existed, his attributes have to be arbitrary because nothing came before him. So there can't be a reason why he has the attributes he does. There cannot be. It's impossible for there to be a reason if God has always existed. I can't grant the Christian God with all the omnis, and then the argument doesn't work. But it's a valid argument.
But what I would say about that is everything, like the attributes, like when we talk about God, even in the Bible, say I am good and I am evil. Say both. So when I tell you God is everything and God is nothing, because nothing exists outside of everything, right? It's like night and day. Like to understand everything, you have to accept nothing. Like so from that standpoint, like even when I say God exists in everything, so anything that exists, including the attribute we can describe as the essence of God or the blueprint.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, if God has the attributes of being all powerful, what is the reason why he has that attribute? There must be a reason why he has that attribute. I'm just asking for the reason.
Well, that's just how people describe. That's just a description.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, why is God all powerful?
Yeah,
that's how we describe. That's just a description. That's how man described God. God never said. God said, "I'm Almighty and all powerful." I mean, but when we talking about now the attributes of that, like name an attribute.
All powerful. Why is he all powerful? What is the reason why he's all powerful? It can't be because humans have described him as all powerful, because that would be humans making up the God and giving him attributes.
Well, that's what the Bible is. That's what the Bible is. God didn't write the Bible. That's just that's why people use anthropomorphism. They use our attributes or the things that we can understand to describe something we can't. That's what a description is.
But if God actually exists, he would have existed before the universe, before humans. So he doesn't have the attribute of being all powerful because humans described him that way, because he existed before humans. That's not the reason why he is all powerful. there must be a reason why he's all powerful. And it's not humans. It can't be humans because he was all powerful before he created the universe.
What is all powerful to you? Give me an understanding of all powerful.
There are two. There's being able to do anything at all is all powerful, but they changed it to maximally powerful, so he can only do the things that are logically possible. So there's kind of two definitions. Because he can't make a square circle or a married bachelor or a rock star.
See, if you go watch like some of my older videos, I told people God is confined to the universal laws. Like God has to obey universal laws. Like and that's because like when you're talking about any God within any pantheon or description, the way we've been writing, if you go to the Greeks, if you go to the Egyptians, if you go to the Christian, all those gods are man's description of what their experience is.
Yeah.
That's all. No God has written a book and gave it to us.
I agree with the maximally powerful God. He can do everything that's logically possible. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that God could exist. The all-powerful God cannot exist. Like all power, because it's saying he can do anything, including the logically impossible. If that God existed, the all-powerful one, then he would be able to create square circles and married bachelors and a rock so heavy that he can't lift it. So I agree with you. Yeah, it must be maximally powerful. It can't be all powerful.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. Even when you look at what like even when God said, "I am good and I am evil," that's duality, bro. That's a universal principle. You know, God spoke things into existence. That's law of is it law of correspondence? That's manifestation. You're speaking things into existence.
There's
that's thinking.
There's the law of identity, excluding middle, and
that's laws of logic. I'm talking about the universal laws.
All right.
I'm talking about the universal principles of how, like, everything, even the universe, abides by these universal laws.
That
you don't know the universal laws, bro?
So, but again, getting back to God's attributes, in order to refute this argument, and it could be wrong, you would have to give a reason why God has the attributes he does. So if God is all powerful or maximally powerful, you would have to give a reason why he is all powerful or maximally powerful.
Nefertiti, what up, though, sis?
That would refute the argument.
And let me ask you a question, because I'm starting to think you seeking God. Gary Russell Down Brown, my 33 brother, what up, though? I don't know if I spoke to you. I'm starting to think you seeking God.
Yeah, if God exists, then I want to know it. It would be in my best interest. I'm not anti-God. I'm not against God. I just don't. I'm not convinced that he exists. If he does exist, I want to know. Because I don't
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, have you ever had a conversation with yourself?
All the time, yeah. Constantly.
Now, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
And we can use the laws of logic, right?
Yeah.
It's logically impossible to have a conversation with yourself.
Not inside your head, because
what is a conversation? Isn't that a discussion between two people?
It's
or multiple people? One.
You could be right there, actually. Yeah.
So now Hold on, let me just clarify.
In your head, do you not think you're talking to yourself, like you argue with yourself? I do. It might not be two people, but you know what I mean.
Do you know where your thoughts come from? Where do your thoughts come from?
I think they come from my brain and my consciousness, which is what do they call it? An emergent property of the brain is conscious. I think that's where it comes from, the brain.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, let me share this. So, conversation. This is what I say it's logically impossible to have a conversation with yourself. And I'm saying logically. I'm not saying you can't. I have conversations with myself, but when we use these things, this is what I tell people. A lot of times, experience and understanding trumps what
no,
we consider logic or explanation. So a talk, especially an informal one between two or more people.
yeah,
So just that right there is a conversation that we cannot have a conversation with self, but we often do. So my question is, so you said the emergence, but what influences those? Like what is that? What is the methodology of emergence?
emergence is, like one single molecule of water isn't wet, but when you get a large amount of molecules of water, it becomes wet. So it's an emergent property. It's when you get lots of things together and then something emerges from it. So you get all the
So
parts of the brain firing, synapses firing and all that. And what emerges from all those different things doing what they do comes the conscious. So it emerges from the brain.
So you saying thoughts come from emergence. So the things that we observe consciously and subconsciously
Yeah.
emerge as thoughts. Is that a better way to say it?
No, the brain. We know the brain exists, and the
Right.
conscious emerges from the brain. It's not a physical thing, but it emerges when the brain gets together with all its different parts. The conscious emerges from the brain, so it's an emergent property, and then thoughts come from the conscious.
But okay, so now so thoughts come from the conscious.
I think so.
What makes the conscious give you a thought in your head? Like when you say you had conversations with yourself, how does those do you so well, like I'm gonna use myself for an example. When I have conversations with myself is often thought provoking. The thoughts that come in my head are to identify things. And
You ask
what
yourself questions, or I do. Like I'll ask myself a question, and then it's weird. I don't really understand how it works, but that's how it works in my head. But
yeah, and see, so
cool.
like random thoughts come in my head, and I understand why. That's why I say it's a collection of what I observe. So as I go around, or as I'm exposed to things, a lot of times subconsciously, I may see something, and later subconsciously, I'm questioning. I'm trying to identify it. I'm trying to put what I seen and I stored in my subconscious to my conscious. But to do that, I have to identify it consciously. So a lot of the conversations I have with myself, I understand the process. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But why, like for me, I had to think like, why do I need to identify these things? And a lot of times I understand those conversations. It's a higher level of thinking. It's like it's higher level than what I'm consciously thinking, because of what I'm consciously thinking is just what I can physically observe. But it's what I observe is what I can't physically observe a lot of times. Carrying in a building, what up, though? Yeah, I did this to pull you out earlier. But
you can think about you can think about concepts. You can think about, if you think about a unicorn isn't a physical thing that exists, but you can still think about it. So it's not just.
But why?
Mind.
Would you think about it if you never seen one or never heard of one? If you never seen or heard of anything, have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, but it's not a physical thing. You're saying you can only think about physical things, but a unicorn doesn't. But it's a horse with a horn in its head. I can think about a horse with a horn in its head, even though it doesn't exist.
Did you think about a horse with a horn before you seen a picture or a teddy bear or written in a book describing a horse and a horn? Did you think about it before that?
Yeah, but the unicorn itself isn't a physical thing, but I can still think about a unicorn. So it's not just.
I can go get a physical unicorn out my daughter's room. They got teddy bears. Teddy bears is physical.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought of it.
You see how with the words you said physical.
There must have been the first person who thought of a unicorn before it was written down, or so it must have happened at some point to one person. The first person who thought of something that didn't exist anywhere, a unicorn. There must have been a first person to think of a unicorn before there was before they made a celibate. So it's not just physical that you can consciously think about. You know what I'm saying?
So, do you believe in you deal with physics, right? So you believe in multiple realities?
I'm not educated whatsoever. I left school at 14. I never got any qualifications. I'm not educated at all. I was a plasterer. Yeah. That's the only qualification I've got. Yeah.
And
you
then
know, drywall, I think you call it in America.
And then I can argue this too. Even the first person who thought of a unicorn, 9 times out of 10 seen a horse and seen another animal with a horn, and they thought, what if these two animals merge?
Yeah. And then he thought of a unicorn, which doesn't exist. So it's not a physical thing. He might have put the two bits together, but he thought of a unicorn, and that unicorn didn't exist. So you can consciously think of things that don't physically exist.
Now you have to define your understanding of physically exist, because I just told you I got a physical unicorn in my daughter's room. It's a teddy bear. That's physical. So are you talking about living things?
No,
things with consciousness.
Imagine. No, I'm imagine like furries or leprechauns or Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster. They don't exist, but you can think of them. They don't exist physically. All I'm saying is you can think of things that don't physically exist.
But if you bring it to existence, such as a painting or a drawing, is a physical representation. It might not be a living representation, but there is a physical. So you got to be careful, like when I say words, because I use them for a specific reason. So when I'm talking about no, I'm just saying like the way I word things. Like when I say a physical existing thing, meaning something I can observe, that's physical. Even a picture is physical.
Yeah, but I can imagine a planet that doesn't exist. Like I could imagine Saturn, but twice as big, with two rings around it. That doesn't exist, but I can consciously think of it, even though it doesn't physically exist.
Why do you? I know what you're saying, but think about this now. So you just described something that physically exists, and you expanded onto it.
Yeah,
that's why you could think. What I'm saying, if you had no understanding, no representation, if you had nothing to associate or build off of, can you think about it?
Yeah, I could make up.
Everything you gonna say gonna have already a representation of something.
Yeah, but I can think of just think of any planet. I can make a purple planet with 10 rings around it. Nothing to do with Saturn. Just pluck it out of my mind. It doesn't exist anywhere in paintings. I can just think of a purple planet that doesn't exist with 10 rings around it and 20 moons. It doesn't exist physically, but I can consciously think about it.
But to fulfill what I'm requesting you to do, you can't use anything that already exists. So even saying you can create a planet, you already understand what a planet is. What I'm asking you, if you had no awareness of something, have you ever heard or do you think it can exist? Like you can think about it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If you don't you can say, I can create a new looking shoe. I can create even the reason we got planes, right? Think about the person who made the plane. What inspired them to make the plane? If they seen something and they said, hey, you know what? If I do this or do that, then men can fly. They seen birds. So you see what I'm.
But your statement was you can't think of things that you can't consciously think of things that don't physically exist, and you can't. They might be based on other things, but because they're based on things, they still don't exist. You've changed it from you can't consciously think of things that don't exist to you can't consciously think of things that aren't based on things.
Influence. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I give you that. I give you that. I can see to that. Okay. I worded that wrong.
That's good as well.
The thing that does not consciously.
No, that means
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And so that means you're honest, and that's good.
I mean, no, I see what you're saying now. Yeah. Because the way I did kind of move the goalpost by saying, I should have worded it to the point. Can you consciously think of things that are not but already exist? Yeah. There you go.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I can't, but someone more creative might be able to. I can't think of anything at the moment.
What is, you got a dragon? I know, she tells me all the time. If anyone else is there and he can tell, our hidden camera. I ain't talking to Kerrigan. Until he come up here and explain to me why emotional intelligence is crap. He tried to one time.
Emotional intelligence.
Now I have one more question. Commander, go ahead. Does your dragon... Oh, you talking to Karen? Yeah, they eat food.
Not to be annoying.
Electricity.
Not to be annoying, but to go back to the God being arbitrary question, can you think of a reason why God has the attributes of being all powerful? The actual reason. The reason must come before God, and nothing came before God because He's always existed. It's impossible for there to be a reason. Do you get what
I'm gonna give you the most basic answer. You're not going to accept it, but it's the most basic answer. Is because the people who wrote the book, that's how they describe God. That's the reason.
But that would mean that God didn't have the attributes until they wrote the book.
You can't say that because now you're talking about. You got to think about this. What is your? Are you not? Let's get some context. Are you talking about the Christian God, the God of the Bible?
Yeah, or any being that has always existed can't have a reason for the attributes they have. Any being that has always existed.
And I'm telling you because the people who wrote it said it does.
But that can't be the reason that God has the attributes that He does. Because if the reason is that they wrote about it, then God wouldn't have had those attributes before they wrote about it. So He can't have God existing, and then because they wrote about it, He has attributes that He didn't have before. He must have.
Our understanding is because they wrote about it. That's how we understand.
But our understanding is different from.
But see, that's why I wanted to build the foundation. What are we? So give me any book that was written with descriptions of gods, and I'm telling you that the reason it has what it has, or God is omnipotent, is because that's what the descriptions. That's what the people who wrote it, how they described it. You're asking for a more theological understanding of why, like more philosophical or even logic. You're asking for a logical reason why God is all powerful. But I'm telling you, our understanding of God was written by people.
But
that's why.
That's maybe the reason why humans understand the attributes that God has, but that's not the reason why God has those attributes, because God existed before the universe, so He must have had those attributes before the universe was existed. So the reason cannot be because humans wrote it down. He must have had those attributes before humans existed.
But to even say He must have had, you're still giving a description of what humans wrote. So for you to even that question, right? Yeah. You have to accept that there is a God, right? So if there is a God, what is God? What is God? The creator of all things, right? So if we accept there is a God and He's the creator of all things, that's why. It's because God is capable of doing things that we can't.
But why is he capable? Why is he all powerful? What is the reason why he's all powerful? It can't be because if he wasn't all powerful, he wouldn't be able to create the universe. Because he could be not all powerful.
So what you're asking? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he could not be all powerful, and then he wouldn't be able to create the universe. And that would just be the way it is. So
But
he doesn't have to. The universe isn't necessary. You could have a god. You could have a god who cannot create a universe.
But that's hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical. Yeah.
So I mean, but you're speaking hypothetical, saying like you don't need a god to create the universe, but the God create. So okay, so from that, right? So everything has a purpose, right? So even you say, well, why did God even create the universe?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you could have a god that cannot create a universe. A god could exist that is not all powerful, and in which case he wouldn't be able to create the universe. So a god could exist, and he's not able to create the universe. So the universe isn't necessary. So you can't say he's got the attributes of being all powerful because he had to create the universe. No, you could have a god who couldn't create a universe. So,
but that would be anything. So anything outside of the supreme God is considered a demigod, and that's through all. That's through all canons. There was always are you familiar with the Anunnaki?
I've heard of them. I'm not sure what they are.
So the Anunnaki are described as gods to this earth, right? But they were not. They were just the more powerful ones. They were just smarter and stronger and bigger. They were gods to us because they tampered with our DNA and evolved us into something else. So that's why we consider them gods, because they evolved us to what we are, but they were not the divine. They were in the universe. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's our description. That's what I'm saying. It's the description of how people are describing. So even when you say God, do you know that's a newer term? It's a reason when you read the Bible, it's different. God's name was never in the Bible, bro.
Yeah, but
all those were descriptions.
I'm asking for the reason why God has the attributes he does. The reason must come before God. The reason why something has, like, the reason why this tin has the attributes it does is because someone made it in a factory. So the factory would have to exist before, and the person who made it would have to exist before, and the tin would have to exist before in order to make it. That is the reason why it got made, and people want cigarette rollers. So the reason comes before the object. But if God has always existed, the reason cannot possibly come before the object, which is God. It's impossible, which means there cannot possibly be a reason for God to have the attributes he does. It's logically impossible. Okay,
so I know what you're saying. You're trying to basically say, who made God?
Or what?
If God
his attributes
has then someone created God. God has a creator.
No. I'm asking, why does God have the attributes he does? It could be any reason. It doesn't have to be a being, or it doesn't have to be a who.
I think the word, thanks for having me up, brother. I appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah. Walter, I think part of the mystery of faith is kind of coming to a sense of acceptance that we can't understand. It's kind of part of the point. So, for example, there's a I'll just finish this thought. I'll just finish this thought.
I know.
Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds, right? There's a saying: if our mind was simple enough for us to understand it, we'd be too stupid to understand it, right? So there's we can't encompass the entirety of the universe or of God. So we're going to have to accept at some point some kind of faith, some kind of acceptance of this mystery. Okay, there you go. I'm done.
second. Yeah, but I'm looking for a reason why God has the attributes. You can't just say, I don't know, but I believe on faith that he does. That doesn't help. I mean, you can believe
that helps a lot. That helps a lot, actually.
It doesn't give a reason why he has the attributes he does. It just explains why.
But there's a certain peace. There's a certain peace that comes with the acceptance that we'll never know.
Then you can't say there is a reason or there's not a reason. You don't know.
Well,
so
what happens if you pursue that line of thinking? You end up trying to make yourself into a god, which is a bad move, bro. Right.
Because now think about this, Wildheart. Think about this. Do you know everything that exists?
No. But
is it possible?
The argument. He's not giving an answer. He's just saying, "I believe he has these attributes, and I don't know."
No, I am, bro. No, I am. Like, I really am. I will give you. Let me give you a secular scientific example of the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. There are objects moving away from us beyond the observable universe, and the light from those. Hang on. The light from those objects will never reach us, so we will never see them.
It's got nothing to do with God and his attributes. I want to know.
Yes, it does. It's an analogy. It's an analogy.
I don't want an analogy. I want a reason for why God has the attributes. The analogy doesn't matter.
A reason doesn't matter.
It does, because that's what the question I'm asking.
What does a sufficient answer entail to you? Like,
that's a good question.
What is the parameters of a significant answer?
What would it take? Maybe I could reword the word. I've thought this same thing myself. Hang on.
This always happens. Someone else can't respond, and then someone else jumps in and adds to it and changes the question.
Okay, go on, bro. You're right. Go on. Go on.
I don't think you can give an answer, because I think it's logically impossible for there to be an answer. There can't be a reason why God has the attributes he does, which is my argument.
Now you're coming to our side.
No, you're not arguing against it. My argument is, if God has always existed, then his attributes are arbitrary. You're not arguing against it by saying, well, I believe God has those attributes. That's not a reason why he has those attributes. It's the reason why you believe it, and it's faith. But that doesn't explain my question. It's got nothing to do with my question.
I know, because it's a badly formed question on this particular topic, with all due respect.
What topic? It's my topic. I'm asking the question.
I know, but it's a badly formed question. I reject the premise of your question.
I'm asking for a reason why God has the attributes he does. If you can't give one,
that's it. Well, sometimes there's a saying that there's no such thing as a stupid question, but that's a stupid question.
But I answered this question 3 different times, 3 different ways. Like, okay, think about this. Why does God have the attributes that he has? Because God created the attributes. God
can't have created his own attributes.
Everything has the essence of God.
I'm kind of leaning towards.
If God is
I'm kind of leaning towards Wildheart's side here. Don't listen to me, but it seems to me God probably didn't create his attributes. That's kind of the point, that God has a nature.
God would have had to exist before he had attributes if God created his own attributes. So there would have to be a time when God existed with no attributes. Then he wouldn't have been able to, he wouldn't have been able to create his own attributes.
That's why people say God is everything and God is nothing. Nothing outside of anything we can observe, perceive, anything we could think of is the essence of the Creator. It is everything is God and nothing is God. That's why people say that. I understand what you're saying.
It's irrelevant. I've still not heard a reason why God has the attributes he does. Why does God have the attribute of being all powerful? What is the reason why he has that?
Because he's God.
Because he's God. Seriously.
I know it sounds circular. Circular, but it's not.
But okay, so name some attributes about you.
But I'm not eternal.
No, I'm not saying you're eternal. No, I'm trying to understand your epistemology. So, like,
if I could, the word The word if I could, I just want to, sorry, bro, want to push back on that. How do you know you aren't eternal, bro, Walter?
Because I'm 43 and the universe is more than 43 years old.
It doesn't answer the question. How do you know you aren't eternal? You're acting on faith in saying you aren't eternal.
No,
you don't know that.
Because I know I'm 43 years old and I know the universe is more than 43 years old. I know I'm not eternal. I can't possibly be.
Why not?
Because I'm 43 years old. Do you think the universe is older than 43 years old?
Yeah, but you aren't finished yet, bro. So 43 is a little tiny piece of eternity. Maybe you are eternal. How do you know you're not?
No, because 43 is a tiny, tiny bit of eternal, so I can't be eternal. Because I'm a tiny, tiny bit of eternal. I'm 43 years old. The universe is older. I can't possibly be. Is someone taking the piss or what? Is someone?
No. It's a fair question. Like, how do you made a claim? I'm not eternal, and I just asked, how do you know?
Because I know the universe is more than 43 years old. I've answered it 5 times.
Yeah, that's not actually answering the question. I mean, I'm older than my dog. So what?
You asked, how do I know that I'm not eternal? If something existed before me, then I'm not eternal. And something did exist before me. My mother existed before me, so I can't possibly be eternal, can I?
Well, how do you know that you didn't exist before you were aware that you existed?
Because we know biology, we know how babies are born. Yeah,
what if we aren't just biology? What if we aren't just biology? All right?
I don't want to get aggressive, but are you a troll or just really, really, really fucking stupid?
No, I'm just really, really, really fucking smart.
It's one or the other.
Wait. Wildheart, do you believe that the calendar was changed?
Gregorian, yeah. Before I was born.
Okay, so if there was 13, okay, now listen, if there was 13 months, right? There was 13 months at one point in time, correct?
Yes, the Romans changed it. Yeah, once they converted to Christianity, they made it 12.
Okay,
we still have months that are named after Roman gods. Yeah.
No, I'm going somewhere with this. So if there was 13 months in a year, how do you know you was 43?
Oh, bro, that's 4D chess. That's 4D chess, bro.
No, because he said, I know I'm 43. And I'm asking him if he understand that the calendar was changed from 13 to 12. How do you know that you're 43?
Before it was changed before I was born, so it went down to 12. Do you know how old you are?
No, I don't.
No, same here.
I was told.
Not really.
I was told I'm over 45.
Come on, they've got to be taking the best. They're not. They don't know.
Hey, real quick, y'all. Make sure y'all linked up to Petty Vision, or not Petty Vision. It's Nine Eyes View. We gonna take the show on the road in a minute. I'm gonna close down the word and go over there. But
where you go?
Make sure y'all link. I got another Commander. Can you drop that link in the chat? And I'm gonna actually put the link for the stream over on Petty.
Bro, we're just getting started here, bro.
Oh no, you cool. No, the stream.
No. Right.
It's for the people in the chat.
I think we're done. To be fair, if you don't know how old you are, there's no point fucking talking to you. To be honest.
No, because you said
hold on 1 second. I apologize. 1 second. I got a cash app. I just seen it. Hold on 1 second, bro.
God,
appreciate that.
When you get 5,000 or better, boy.
Hey, shout out to ARD, aka Art, for sponsoring today's show. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Man, y'all
making it rain.
Television. Yeah. Gonna be playing.
Yeah, bro, making it rain. That's what's up. Do you know if you've got like how many people in chat there, bro, right now?
6. 8.
6. 8. If every person was to donate the cost of buying a coffee, you'd make like $40 right there. Is this value for money? Is this conversation entertainment and informative? For the price of a coffee, my man here could go home with $40, bro.
Since you joined, it's entertaining. It's not been informative whatsoever since you joined, to be honest.
Man, whatever.
Yeah, keep talking, bro. Keep talking.
Hey, you can't speak minimum on translator.
Yeah.
I love coffee, by the way. I fucking love coffee.
Let me put the link to the StreamYard on 9eye View. So if you're looking for the link, you got to go to the other channel. And then I'm going to put the link. I'm going to pin a link to this channel on this channel. I know that's a lot, but.
That was a lot.
So the word, I came up a little bit before because you were asking me about emotional intelligence. Am I rude if I ask to change topics, or do you want to stick with the one that makes Lionheart so butthurt? Emotional intelligence, is it?
Oh no, it's no.
So it's
not satisfying is his. You would say to satisfy.
To be fair, you've not answered. You're not even come close to answering the question I asked. I don't know what topic you're on, but you're not even come close to.
Okay.
The topic of the content, the actual content, and the importance of emotional intelligence is the actual topic. It's not an open panel. I was just engaging with you, but it's that actual topic of the content.
And I was only talking to Australian guy. No, you were fine. I enjoyed the chat with you. It's just since these two, I don't know what's going on. They don't know how old they are.
It's actually true. Like the point Gary was making was that the way we measure time is kind of arbitrary, right? We kind of make it up. We take something that's not really accurate, and we apply. That's why we have to add a day every 4 years onto the calendar, because we don't go around the sun in 365 days. We go around the sun in 365 and a quarter days.
Yeah, but
and we have to catch up later.
But once we make the rules, then we can work out how old we are.
Well, we could make different rules and work out some other way, right?
But we didn't. We made the rules.
We change them all the time, bro. We change them all the time. Like the calendar went from 13 months to fucking. We used to have a lunar calendar, right? So.
And when we change them, then I might be a different age. But
and we believe it's 2025. There are a certain group of people, and I know it's TOS. It's so weird to say their name. The small hat people. It's the year 5,642 or something in their calendar.
Oh, I'm sorry, the word. I'm really sorry. I asked what are the reasons for God's attributes, and now we're arguing over how do we know how old we are.
No, because you having a problem. The problem is you need an answer, right? Because you don't have it. There's things that can't be explained. Do you believe that there's things that can't be explained?
No, if you don't have an answer, just say you don't have an answer.
No, bro. Listen. No, listen. It's like if you asked the panel, why does 2 + 2 = 5? It's a stupid question.
Ozzy, just talk too much. Let me finish a fucking sentence.
I don't talk enough, bro. You got me wrong.
But thanks a word.
Go ahead, Wildheart.
Yeah, no, thanks a word. It's been fun. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Go.
No. I mean, my only thing for you, right, before we go to the emotional intelligence, there are things in life that can't be answered. He wants the thing to be answered, so he got upset and left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is not going to be explainable. Everything is not going to have an answer to it, but he
100.
wants an answer to it so it could verify why his logic or his reasoning is what it is. Even if you give him an answer, he's not going to accept it because it's not his.
Yeah, correct. So he's
because he wants to be right. I know he wants to be right, but instead of it being right, like we can all sit here and agree, like, okay, we don't have a definitive answer. He's still going to want a definitive answer. You see what I mean?
Correct.
You can't.
That's a strategy because he's made his mind up that God doesn't exist, and so his stance is, if you can't prove God exists, then everything else you say is a load of horseshit. And that's no way to talk. That's no way to have a conversation.
Correct.
Just
Now
got to ask.
he's upset.
Yeah, just got to ask. What's that link you put in the chat? You put a link to something.
The one that's pinned in the chat is to the other channel. I mean, if we go talk about emotional intelligence, I'm gonna stay on this channel. If
I'll
you
speak
stay
about
on a
emotional
panel,
intelligence right now. Yep.
If you stay on a panel, it won't affect you at all. You know, but like if you get off, you have to go to the other channel to to come back up. So I got two channels. Like this is more of my this more, I guess, my business channel. The other channel is where we like really have fun. It ain't monetized, so I can do whatever the hell I want over there. So that's beautiful. The fun. Yeah, that's the fun. I'm gonna start going live. I would like to get that monetized and have fun and get demonetized and remonetized and that stuff over there. Mm-hmm. But this is more of like a branding business channel. So I got to shift, certain conversations over to that channel.
Gotcha. So if it's okay with you, Word, we'll talk about emotional intelligence. What do you reckon? Do you want to go with that one?
Seconds to respond to the other guy. He said that I don't believe in God. I'll never believe in God. And if I don't believe in God, I call it. I never said horse shit for one. And I'm not saying I have an answer. I'm asking the question.
Well, do you believe in God?
I accept the answer because it doesn't line up with Wildlight's answer. I don't have an answer. I'm asking the question.
We haven't got one either, bro. So we're in the same place.
But
that's fine.
Right. That's what I'm.
You don't have an answer.
That's what I said.
That's fine.
I said that there. I said that there is no answer because there are certain things in life that doesn't have an answer to it. You want a definitive answer to something that doesn't have an answer to it. You want scientific proof that God exists or why he has the attributes that he has. We cannot give you that. We are not of that level of God to have that answer for you.
That's fine, but do you agree that there must be a reason why God has the attributes he does? Because if there's not, then
yes, we all agree. But here's the difference, Wildheart. Here's the difference. We all agree on it, but you must have an answer for it. That's the difference.
I don't have an answer. I don't think there can be an answer. That's the point. If there is no reason why God has the attributes he does, then his attributes are arbitrary. That is my argument, and you agree with it.
We all agree with it, but we're not the one that's asking the question to show why he has an attribute. That's your question.
You can ask the question with it. I don't have an answer. You say I have an answer and I don't. I'm asking the question. I don't have an answer. And you don't have an answer. So we have an answer. So we don't have an answer. So we all have an understanding. We don't know why God has the attributes. Now the question would be for you: do you believe his attributes are what they are? I don't believe it exists.
And so do we all. We all believe that they exist. So we all in agreement then, correct?
I don't believe it.
Let me say this.
Oh, you don't believe it?
Oh, okay. Let me say this real quick. This is the problem. Like people who don't have a belief, understanding of God will always try to limit our restrictions to understand God. And that'd be the problem. That's why we say almighty, all powerful, like beyond our concept. Like the people who indulge in God or the divine creator, we understand is outside our conception, but people who don't try to confine God into our limitations. That's why we have anthropomorphism. That's how when people describe God, they only can describe him from what they understand.
Yes, bro. That's like it's a bit like can you imagine a hang on, bro. No, hang on, bro.
Again,
can you imagine an ant? Can you imagine? Yeah, okay, bro. I'm going to keep talking. Just shut up. Just shut up for a second.
Hold on. Talking to me. You're jumping in after he's asked me a question. It's unfair.
Well, I made a statement. That was a statement.
But, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It wasn't a question to you, bro. So just be quiet for a second. Okay. Imagine an ant trying to understand a human. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. If I could understand God, I would be a God. And God help you all if I'm a God. I don't want to be a God. Damn. I just want to be a humble human being living a good life but I have to have something above me that I look toward, because otherwise I'm going to be a lost motherfucker, bro.
Right. Well, if that's the case, then that's the case. My point is, I've made a logical argument why God cannot have a reason for his attributes, and you haven't refuted that. All you said
Are
is
you sure you've made a logical argument?
Yes. Because
Okay, so you won. So you won then.
Why is everyone arguing with me then? Just agree.
No one's arguing. No, we just saying God ain't logical.
I said
Not
you
even
won.
the Bible is God logical.
Oh, the word.
There's
That's
no
another
logic
point.
for an answer.
That becomes correct. That becomes the Luciferian worship of reason, right? That's where you end up. Yes, that's been written about by some really smart people, right?
You are stupid. You are really stupid. I don't believe in God. How can it be a Luciferian argument? It says that I don't believe in God.
I asked you 5 seconds ago if you're an atheist, and you said no, and now you're saying I don't believe in God, bro. Get your head straight.
I've never said I'm not an atheist. I've always been an atheist.
You said before you weren't a fucking atheist. What the hell are you talking about, bro?
I didn't.
And that's where the conversation should end, because there's no way in the world that there's no way that it's not going to get, it's no point going to get across, because you're going to stand on what you stand on, and everybody else is going to stand on what they stand on. You're not even going to agree to disagree, so the conversation should end.
No, but you just said that you all agree with me.
That was to make you shut up.
You said no one.
No.
Yeah, that was just to make you shut up, bro.
Well,
I'm saying this is why I agree with you, right? I agree with you because there is no answer to the question, but that does not mean we don't think that there's a creator that created us. You said there's you don't believe in nothing. You don't believe that a spiritual being created.
I'm going to go wait for 5 minutes. The word I love you.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Oh, one second. We got somebody on the panel. Baba, can you speak or show yourself in the back?
I was on your show with you and Commander last week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure. I gotta hear people sometimes, because sometimes people will use your Mentexo. What up, dude? That's my boy. Hey man, them beats is fire, bro. Them beats is fire. But let me put this back up like this. All right, y'all can go ahead again and rock out.
Now go ahead, Wildheart. Finish what you were saying.
I think he's gone.
Did he drop down again? Oh, okay. Now he's
gone.
Oh, there you go. He right there. He ain't dropped down. He right there. Go ahead, Wildheart. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I'm just saying I've got to nip out to the shops for 5 minutes, so I'll be right back. But keep me if you need space or anything. And thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cheers.
No, I'm just saying, for me, there's things in life that doesn't have an answer to it. This is one of them. So I can't give you an answer to it that does not affect that I understand that there's a creator with all of this attributes that you want to claim. I know that he is up there with those attributes. I can't give you an answer why he has it. I just know that he has it. That's the best way I can give you an answer.
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah, Gary. Gary, I think.
You asked me a question. Shut your fucking mouth.
He didn't ask you a fucking question. You made a statement again. Why do you think everyone's talking to you, bro? This is a panel. Be quiet for a second. I'm going to respond to Gary. I would fuck me. Gary. Yeah. We'll talk to you soon, bro. Talk to you soon. So, Gary, if Wildheart really wanted to mess with Christians or religious people, he could ask this question, right? Why would an all-powerful God make a universe where suffering exists? That's the hard question. If he can do anything, if he can create any world, why create a world where children get cancer, where people die in house fires, where we have military atrocities? That's a really hard question, even for me to answer.
Nothing to do with my question, but you go ahead. Just
shut up, bro. I'm talking to Gary.
Carry on. Not my question, but you carry on.
Yeah, thank you. Mate, I'm trying to help you out. If you really want to mess with Christians, ask them why God created suffering.
Can I answer it?
Oh,
Oh,
go
no, go
ahead,
ahead, Gary.
because
Gary can answer. No, Gary
no,
can
you
answer it.
answer it, because I ain't answering it. Go ahead, I'll let you answer it.
I answer it from a Christian understanding. So we appreciate His grace. How we don't know what His grace is if we don't know what it is? How will we know what to be in God's grace is if we didn't have example to be outside of God's grace? You wouldn't know good without having bad. I wouldn't even say no if we won't appreciate it if we didn't know what the other side looked like. So that's just duality.
We are the
I think
only people. We are the only creation that can have duality. We are the only creation that can have a good moment and a bad moment. That's why we are more important than angels,
that's a really good
right?
point.
That's
So do you think that
Go ahead.
and I'm being genuine. I'm going to go with a really brutal sort of example. Do you think a gazelle having its heart ripped out by a lion while it's alive is having a bad time, or is it aware of it?
Yes,
Is it?
it's still it suffers pain. Everything suffers. Humans
Mhm,
suffer. The only
mhm.
difference is we can fix our own suffering.
I
That's
think the
why
main
we
difference
are
is.
almost. That's why we are almost like. That's why some people think they are God as an individual. You understand? Because we can
Mhm,
do certain
mhm.
things that other people can't do. For example, if you ever notice, we're not in tune with nature. Man is not in tune with nature anymore. We have been so tainted that we're no longer in tune with nature. That's why
I'm okay
when a
with that.
storm comes, I know, but that's why when a
I'm okay
storm
with that
comes, you
because
always think.
nature has like 15,000 ways to kill me. So I'm okay with not being in tune with nature, right?
No. I'm just saying that's why we're closer to God than any entity on earth,
I agree. I had
right?
a back in my 20s, I had a friend. I was working in a factory, and I had a friend who was he was a Muslim, but also kind of a Sufi. He was kind of like a
Hmm.
some kind of and
Mhm.
he had told me a story that the angels were complaining to God, and they said, "Why do you worship these humans so much? They sin, they fuck up, they make mistakes. We're good, like we're good all the time, and these humans are out there doing all their sex and all their crime and all their stuff. Why do you honor humans so much?" And God said, "Would you like to be a human and try it out?" And these two angels, they said, "Yeah, go on, make me a human." Within 24 hours, the angel said, "Let me out of here. This is this is terrible." Right? And God
Because they
said, "That's
wasn't
why."
right,
Okay?
because they can't understand this, but that would be answering the entire question. We don't have the answer until you become that person. That's why when you guys say, if we had the answer of why God has what he has, we would be gods. And then we wouldn't even want that pressure of being God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Some
bro.
of us
Yeah, I
think we
do.
can
I do.
handle that situation. Some people think they handle the situation, but you know you can't handle it because you, for example, a lot of us create children and they ain't even a part of the children's lives.
I was just
You
going
see
to
what I'm
say,
saying?
bro, I can barely handle being head of my family, let alone being,
That,
let alone being God. Get the fuck out of here.
but that's why I'm saying that some answers don't need to be answered. In this case, it can't be answered because we are not of that level of understanding of who or
Facts.
what the creator actually is. So for me,
Facts.
it cannot be an answer because we are not, like, we can understand why animal we understand why animal runs away from or when we understand why the geese fly south. We understand when the geese why they fly north. You understand? That's a
Yeah,
natural
yeah.
aspect. All right. If it gets cold, we flying south. When it warms up, we going north. That's the tune. That's the thing that we don't have, but we are still above the animals because we have more attributes than the actual animals that are close to nature. So we can understand them. They can't understand us. That was your point that you was trying to make about the ant trying to understand a human. You see what I'm saying?
I think it was Stephen Fry, the English actor and celebrity, who said humans are the only animals that think about other animals, right? Zebras aren't out there wondering what humans are doing, right? But we think about it. We think, why do zebras do that? Why do wildebeests do this? And elephants self-aware. There's no other animal thinking about humans going, what's up with the humans, eh?
Yeah,
I think
they're go ahead.
Hey, real quick, everybody, if you're in the chat, if you're in the chat, hit that link pinned to the top. It's gonna take you over to the other stream. I'm about to end this one, but the stream is gonna continue in the other chat. Just go to the other chat.
All right.
Okay,
bro. So unless you want to talk about emotional intelligence, and then I'll chill over here. But if
let's talk about emotional intelligence. I was just gonna end it right there. Yeah, go ahead. Because I'm about to ask, who is it? Aussie that don't. What is the point? What is your misconception of emotional intelligence?
I think hot take. Okay, strap in, boys. Emotional intelligence was created by women because, here we go. They needed an equivalent to actual intelligence to make themselves feel better about the fact that men are better at logic and shit. So they made up another one and called it emotional intelligence to try and make us feel like we weren't just more logical. They're trying to equivocate logic and reason, which men do really well. Women are kind of emotional. And they said, well, there's emotional intelligence, which men don't get. That way they have a balance that they feel to the fact that men are better at some things, but we aren't better at emotional intelligence. And therefore, emotional intelligence is a load of horseshit. There's my claim. Prove me wrong.
I got pushback. I would argue that men are more emotional intelligent than women naturally. And I'm gonna
men are better at everything.
I'm gonna just use this as a clarification because we have a built-in excuse for women in today's society that they're emotional. So we excuse some of the things that they do. When men, a lot of times we feel an emotion and we still think, we filter that emotion with logic, right? I'm not saying all men, I'm saying but we do this. And through that filter, we decide what to do. When people who lack emotional intelligence bypass that thinking filter and just react to the emotion. So I would argue that men have more emotional intelligence.
I agree. It's the same. It's the same when women always say, men don't share their emotions. Well, actually, ladies, that's a good thing. You don't say your house is on fire. Do you want your man to cry or get on it?
Yeah, but taking the gender out of it, it's pretty easy to understand that it exists because you can't manage people unless you understand emotions. You can't do it with just logic. It doesn't work.
True. That I agree. But understanding emotions. Okay.
That's an aspect.
I don't think that. Yeah, sorry, the word. I don't think that's what they mean by emotional intelligence. You're correct, though. That is emotional intelligence, is understanding emotions. What women mean when they say emotional intelligence is you're forthcoming with your emotions. You share, you emote, you look into my eyes and you express your feelings. That's what they mean. But you're correct. Emotional intelligence is understanding how to leverage emotions. Every salesman knows this.
Well, and also the differences, also the different archetypes that people have. I mean, not everybody's the same. So if you don't really understand the differences, then you're not going to be able to do anything except put out a fire. Right?
Yeah, well, look, I'll give you a really simple, crude example. Watch some what are they called? Chainsaw fail videos on YouTube, which is dickheads cutting down trees, have no idea what they're doing, and the tree falls on the house. There's always some bloke in the video in the background going, yep, there it goes. Oh, it's going the wrong way. Shit. and there's always some woman screaming her fucking lungs out. She can't help. Her screaming won't help. So she's being emotional, and he has emotions. Like in his heart, he's thinking, dude, some guy's got to pay for this. Some guy is going to lose his job. But he's just watching going, yeah, oh shit, man, you're fucked up. But the girls are all fucking screaming their heads off. So, well, okay, the word. What is emotional intelligence? Maybe go right back to the start.
So, emotional, I'm gonna break it down because it has more parts than just self. So, when we're talking about the self, we're talking about emotional awareness, being able to regulate that emotion and express that emotion in a beneficial way, right? So that's with the self. But when we talk about emotional intelligence outside of self, we're talking about being aware of other people's emotion, and understanding their expression, like what out of what emotional state are they expressing or conveying their thoughts into actions. So
I don't know if I'm wrong, but
I'm sorry.
It sounds like you're talking about emotional control. Men have better emotional control.
Well, a portion of a regulation would be control, like being able to control that emotion and properly express it. That's
also manage the emotions of people around you as well.
I don't like that's a that's an argument I have with my sister. You know, I don't truly believe you can. I believe you can influence people, but I don't really think you can manage someone else's emotion. I don't think you can. I'm not gonna say you can't. You can. I just don't think it's wise for you to go around trying to manage everyone's emotion. But if you have like your wife, your kids, you know, even as an employer, you know, there's a reason why we have the CEO, we have managers, we have supervisors. So there's a chain of command. So the employer is only go manage the people right under him, and those people under him go manage the people under them. So even like managing, I would give that, being able to manage. I don't like teaching that because I don't want people going out trying to manage other people's emotions when you got to have some type of authority and influence to even manage someone's emotion. But that's right.
So for me,
right
off the bat, one of the things that matters most is self-awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the first step to as far as your own emotions. And the vast majority of people, they're really not thinking about that. They feel something, they think with what they have, and then they act. That's it. They're not trying to think abstractly about what's going on with them. Not at all. So
I got a template but that's the first part of emotional intelligence is emotional awareness. Not only knowing, most people, you're aware of how you feel, right? I give people that. You are aware, but do you know why? If you don't know why, there's no possible.
Some people aren't even aware of how they feel.
Yeah,
they don't
that's
even,
what I'm saying.
Not even that. And then keep going. You're saying the next level is
so
what?
is not only being aware of how you feel, but now to do something about it, you got to know why you feel about that.
Exactly.
So if you understand how you feel and why you feel, it's easier to control or regulate that emotion. And that's the second part, emotional regulation, or you can say emotional control. Now, once you have control over that and you know why and how you feel, now you can use different techniques to properly express it. Because a lot of people can't articulate their vernacular in a way where they can properly convey the way they feel without insulting someone else. Mm-hmm. So, and when we talking about interacting with one another, that's the important part. That's why I say when I teach outside of self, is understanding if a person is aware, understanding if a person can, and understanding if a person is properly expressing themselves, versus trying to manage if they can do all three of those things. just you having the information and knowledge, if they can or cannot, then you can determine how to proceed. Like if I see someone amped up and I know, okay, look, this ain't nothing good come out their mouth, they gonna say something, I might get upset. Let's just avoid this. You know, or if I understand like somebody is upset, but they still able to articulate themselves in a way where we can get understanding, then I can go forward, even if I see the person upset. So it's just your awareness on how to interact with people when they're in their emotional states. Does that make sense? I don't know where I put this damn thing at. Can y'all still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, still here. Yeah, still here.
We hear you.
I'm just having some really bad tech issues. My audio is like crazy. I'm going to write it out for a bit. It normally comes good in a few minutes. So.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. You're back. Oh, we're back. Okay, cool.
Commander, what you got to say about that?
Commander dropped down.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I just seen her.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from I think the most appropriate name in chat is Stoic. I would love to hear from Stoic on his, her, they, them's thoughts on that, right?
No, Stoic is he a fellow Australian. That's your mate, bro.
Oh,
Aussie
shit.
mateship. Aussie mateship.
Aussie.
Yeah. Hey, Stoic, if you like the Art of War, read 5 Rings, man. I'm telling you, 5 Rings. I still listen to the audio book. 5 Rings is a badass book, man.
Oh,
Miyamoto,
yeah.
that's one of my favorites, bro.
Yeah, the word Stoic fucked it up. He said he's from Sydney. Sorry, bro, you did to me.
5 Rings, yeah. With Miyamoto. What is it? Miyamoto Moshi. I have a hard time pronouncing his name.
Miyamoto Musashi, I think is the
Musashi. Yeah.
So, EQ, emotional intelligence. The other argument against it is there's no valid scientific metric for measuring it. Like you can measure actual IQ. It's one of the most robust sciences in the world, but you can't measure emotional intelligence. So how do we call it a thing? Like, how do you know if you're emotionally intelligent? I reckon the answer would be if you agree with most women, you're emotionally intelligent.
No, you have to gauge that by a person's the way people interact with in different environments. You know, is a person like even me, for example? I lost my cool a little bit last night, but you know I reeled it back, and you know,
emotional control.
Yeah. So it's more or less how a person interacts. So like far as a gauge, I can concede to that. There's no gauge far as taking a test.
There's no metric.
As far as taking a test, but that's something.
Sorry, have to land the plane with Stoic. Yes, Melbourne, bro. Yes, Melbourne, bro. Best coffee in the world. Sorry, the word. I had to do that. Yes, I think the thing is with EQ, which like most of the things, I'm gonna sound so sexist, right? Most men tend to set up metrics where we can measure things. Women like to create things that don't really have any way to measure it, so they can then spread their chaos and pretend that we're all trying to get along. No, just relax. You can't measure emotional intelligence. So therefore, it's not a thing.
There are tests that they have, but we just don't use them because that's not part of our system.
Because they're useless.
Well, I mean, up until recently, we were only caring about IQ, but I think that it'll probably be useful in the future.
But I will say this: is it from the description I gave? Is it beneficial? Is it something that you can tangibly do?
Measure it?
No, actually practice it.
practice it at
I'd
all.
say no.
Well,
No, I'd say no. No.
You can't. So you telling me you can't be aware of how you feel and understand why you feel that way?
Yeah,
no,
but I'm
you're saying.
saying
Wait, who
yes, you
said that,
can,
Lee?
but that's not emotional intelligence. That's just being a solid dude. That's just being level-headed.
So
Right.
the different. So I think you're using. Let me pull it up. The definition of intelligence, right? Attached to emotion, compound word. Let me pull it up.
While you're doing that, I'm stoic. I would go to Sydney, but I kind of like not being gay. So,
Wow.
thanks for the offer. I'm just playing with stoic. Sydney is like tits and feathers, smokes and mirrors, and Melbourne's just based.
Mm.
Sorry to sidetrack on the Australian stuff, bro.
Okay, no, you good. So, I want to present this definition real quick. So, when we're talking about intelligence, we're talking about the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skill, right?
Yep, perfect.
A person or being with the ability to acquire and apply knowledge. So, my question is, when I say being aware, being able to control, and being able to properly express emotions, can you apply the teachings that I gave you?
That's a good question. To me, that comes down to a question of, are there times when it's reasonable to ignore your intelligence and go with your feelings? Say for example, I'm going to use another extreme. You find out there's a guy who's he's diddling with one of your kids. Now, rationally, you should not put yourself in jail because your kids need you. But emotionally, that guy's forfeited the right to breathe the same air as you and me. Should you go with your intelligence and your reason, or with your feelings?
When I was younger, I would say my feelings, but now that I'm older, I would have to go with my intelligence. And
Yeah.
see, now I don't want to put myself out there, but my intellect will put me in a position where I can get what I want. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
I
Yeah,
can do what
gotcha.
I need to do.
You'll do it smart.
But that's emotional intelligence, right? Because
Is
I have
it,
to
or just intelligence?
That's emotional because I have to regulate my emotion because
Yeah.
when
So
we
again,
think of
that sounds like emotional control. So I think here's the fucking bait and switch the women did with emotional intelligence. They think they've tried to present the idea that emoting, expressing your emotions, is a good thing. And what we're
Here's a
saying, us
question for
gents,
you guys.
yeah, sure.
Can we equate intelligence to strength?
Tell me what?
Can we equate intelligence to strength?
It's a form of strength, yeah.
Well, it's the best indicator of life outcomes. It'd be better to be born smart and poor than being born rich and stupid.
So if we have the if we have an intuition, which is part of intelligence, right? Because
Yep.
that's
I
what
gotcha.
women really focus on, right? So if we
Yep.
have the intuition that somebody is, if we're going to use the example, is going to that extreme, it takes the strength of the intelligence that we have in order for us to bring it down to where we can logically act out the way we want to act out, as far as not putting ourselves in harm's way, as far as incarceration or anything to that nature. Is that a safe way to look at it?
You mean the guy's gonna? Sorry, bro. I'm distracted by is the commander in the chat? Aussie don't get it because he keeps referencing women and it has nothing to do with women. What the fuck are you talking about, my man? Or is commander a girl or a boy? I don't know yet. I think it's a chick, right?
I'm sorry, can I just interrupt rudely? Can I just apologise to the word and the two people that were on the panel for getting upset and angry? I apologise.
No, you practice emotional intelligence, bro. You got upset, angry. You took a step back, and you came back.
Yeah,
and
good
you
man.
was able to properly regulate and express yourself.
Good man.
See,
Respect,
Ozzy
bro.
is a real
And that's
thing.
why
It's
we
a
know
real
that's
thing.
why we know it can prevail, because we just seen it. We just
It's
seen
a
it on the
real thing.
panel.
You know I was doing it, but yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers.
Yeah, respect.
Sometimes you just got to walk away and take a just to calm down for a minute and come back in.
Yeah, commander in the chat says I have a womb. I still don't know if you're a man or a woman in these days, bro. Can men have wombs? No, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Commander's a chick. Now I'm writing it down. So I know in the future. Because now I'm supposed to have more respect for commander. I'm supposed to accommodate her feelings when I'm having conversations. Okay,
That's a Christian thing to do.
Really? Is it?
Look, I'm not bringing morals up. I'm not bringing it up.
Fair call. Let's continue. Oh, commander flipped the bird. That's my kind of girl. Good on ya. My wife approves. Yeah.
See, now we done figured out the reason Ozzy don't believe in emotional intelligence, because he don't want to use the shit. He only want to use it when it benefits him. He don't want to use it to deal with women. He only want to do. I bet you use emotional intelligence when it comes to money, don't you?
What do you mean? Go on. That's interesting. Yeah, go on.
Do you make capricious or impulsive decisions when it comes to money?
All the time.
Oh no, you ain't practicing emotional intelligence through the finances neither. Hey man, y'all go over to I gotta fuck with Ozzy. Man, you know what, man? We might as well stay over here. We chilling. We ain't nothing too bad. Ain't nobody getting. So yeah, we're gonna be on both channels. We'll stay over here.
Yeah, we good.
And Easy. Yeah, I'm surprised Easy ain't come fucking with whatchamacallit.
Oh
yeah,
man.
bro. He was I was on Speak's chat a bit earlier, and he was trying to find somewhere to land, and I told him you were live, and he said, "Yeah, I'll come back there later." He's doing a bit of a TikTok invasion right now, but he'll be here. He'll be here later.
If he come over here, I'm going right to Petty Vision. So make sure.
This is not a debate channel. This is not a debate channel.
I'm gonna have a button ready to go when Ease come through. Hey man, he got some. I like his content over there. Now Ease, that's my boy, man. Shout out to Speak, bro.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Speak. Actually, he's doing God's work.
Cool
he's doing God's work.
What is it? He slaying the atheist.
Oh yeah, that's his whole thing. He's same as I don't know the word. If you haven't seen Andrew Wilson, go and check him out, bro. He's also a supporter of Speak. Andrew's got 150,000 subscribers, and twice a week he gets 5,000 people in chat, live chat.
I have to go check out Andrew's.
Trust me, go check him out. Go check him out, right?
Every time I seen Andrew, it was like real controversial, and I'm like, nah, I'm straight. But I'm gonna have to check out his content.
Yeah, check him out, bro. Like I was the same when I first saw him. I thought, bro, this dude's fucking hardcore. He's really not. Like I said, if someone can do 150,000 subscribers and 5,000 people in chat twice a week,
yeah,
bro, that's something. That's engagement. Okay, Nefertiti. It's real weird when a man thinks only women can be emotional intelligence. That's a man that's only thinking about the word emotional. No, Nefertiti. If, for example, on the rare occasion, like once every 2 years, I agree to watch a chick flick with my wife, like The Notebook or the the lake house,
Notebook.
and I put myself through that, and I feel like crying, but I hold those fucking tears in. She ain't going to see me cry on this shit. Does that make me emotionally retarded, or
Of
does that make
course.
me...
You should cry,
Really?
man. Let it out. Just cry.
No, bro. There are only two reasons why a man should cry, and I've experienced them both.
Uh-huh. When your kid was born.
And that's it.
I'm intrigued.
Hey?
I'm intrigued. Go on. What are the two?
When your kid is born, what else?
I didn't cry when my kid was born.
Oh, fuck.
Because I was there watching it happen. It's like watching my favourite pub burn down. I should have been at the back having cigars with the boys while the women took care of women's business. Oh, here's a hot take. Any young men in the chat, do not be there when your children are born. Trust me. Just trust me. Let the midlives take care of it. Just you stay at the back and smoke a cigar. She'll come out with the baby and go, "You're a father," and you go, "Yay!" Don't go and watch that shit, bro. It does no good. No, there are two. Yeah, I'll tell you the two reasons when. Yeah, there's two reasons. It's pretty rough, so I'm going to try and word it in a way that's appropriate. Number one, you can shed a tear at your father's funeral, and you can shed a tear if a sibling self-deletes. But apart from that, bro, suck it up.
What about your mother's funeral?
Yeah, I was about to say, why the father versus the mom?
Oh, yeah, you say that you could possibly sound sexist. There's a reason for that. You're very, very sexist.
Oh yeah, I'm the biggest misogynist in the world. I hate women, right? Of course I don't. Sounds
like that. You blame them for the emotional thingy. Like all the scientists.
I don't blame them. I'm just saying they're responsible for it.
I give up. I'll be back.
It don't mean I hate women. By pointing out a fact.
You just said you don't blame them. You just hold them responsible. That's what blame is.
Yeah. No, blame has a connotation. I'm just saying, if you do a thing, you're responsible for the thing you do. That's all. You see, here's the thing, Lionheart. In this modern era, if a man says anything about a woman or all women that is short of a glowing recommendation of everything they do, he's a misogynist.
No, you said blame and responsibility. If you go to court for a crime, they will hold you responsible for that crime. If you go to court and they blame you for a crime, they blame you for a crime. Responsible and blame are the same thing.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to be careful with my words. I did, because blame had connotation. Because sometimes you can be blamed for something you didn't do, but responsibility, that's on you.
I don't even know what the hell y'all talking about right now.
Sorry, man.
We start talking about crimes and
he hates women. He hates all women.
His wife already came through and put that to bed.
Even his mother, he wouldn't cry at his mother's funeral, but he would cry at his dad's funeral.
But that's, I mean, you don't know. I mean, you don't know I don't think I don't know. I'm gonna shed a tear at my dad's funeral, but I know I probably cry more at my mom's funeral. I'm just be honest. I'd probably cry more at my mom's funeral than my dad. Like with my dad, it'd be like, you know, I got to man up. With my mom, it'd be like, you get one mama, man. You only get one. You come out of one woman.
You get one dad too.
Yeah, that's fact. That's fact. You get one father. I say that. You get one father.
Yeah.
You gotta have a whole bunch of daddies.
To be honest, I think I'm just really like I'm being a bit satirical. I'm just pushing it back. I'm pushing back against the modern narrative that all women are all wonderful. right? And all men are all kind of like assholes. So we have a concept of the deadbeat dad. Is there such a thing as a deadbeat mum? By saying that,
Yeah.
I'm sexist. I'm misogynist, right?
It's
Yes,
definitely not as common. It's not as common, that's for sure. But the
a
one thing
mother-
you have to take
you
into
sure?
account is, yeah, I'm
Are you
pretty
sure it's
sure.
not?
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Well, here's
there's
how,
all,
it depends how you quantify it. If you mean physically, yeah, that's for sure. If you mean emotionally, that's a different question altogether.
well, there's also that common thing where they go, woman left a man, right? Okay, man left a woman, he's an asshole. Woman left a man, must have been because he was an asshole.
Yeah,
Here's a question for the panel: can women be assholes?
Of
definitely.
course. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. And now, am I a misogynist and a sexist for saying that?
No, and see, you know where I get strafe. I get strafe when women, come out as victims, and all I ask is for proof. And it's like, I don't believe you should believe all women when they say anything. I don't.
Yeah,
I just don't, bro. I just don't.
yeah,
It's been
yeah.
proven too many times where women lied on men and put men in fucked up situations. I mean, so I
Well,
like when people say, "Oh, I'm a victim." Okay, I mean, if you're a victim, you should have proof. I mean, I think that's fair because if I say I'm a victim of something, I'm gonna be asked for proof.
yeah,
So,
bro.
I mean,
Just gonna. Sorry, bro. I can't help it. I just kind of become the co-host when I do this kind of shit. Stoic in the chat. I grew up in a single mother household. It fucked me up growing up. Thanks for sharing, Stoic. So, the word, what you were saying there. There's a chick, another panel or another karate you might like called Pearl Davis, right? And she points out the same thing. So here's a question: if a woman falsely accuses a man of you know what, and it's found out she lied, should she get the same sentence that he would have got if he was found guilty?
I think that would deter people from lying more. I think it would deter more people from lying. I mean, if
But is it yes or no?
there's a
Is it yes or
consequence
no?
behind it, hell yeah.
Yeah, but think. Yeah, I'm gonna dig deeper because I have a hard time with this too, right? So
he
a
just
chick
asked the
accused.
panel, but then you've not given a chance to respond.
Will you shut up, bro?
You just asked the panel. You said
Shut up. Shut up. We're talking. Shut up. Pay attention. Okay. Read the room, bro. Read the room. Read the room.
Why the room at the
Okay.
moment? That's the problem, you never
Oh, damn. Read the fucking room. Okay. Just be quiet for a second. So, if a woman accuses a man of, SA, he could face, let's say, 15 years in jail. If it's found out she's lying, should she get 15 years?
Hell yeah.
No, you just repeated the same question that you asked before. No, because
he delineated it.
lying about something is different from that. The other one, do you know what I mean? It's a different crime. They should let both.
Yeah, bro, keep talking, and you'll sound more stupid than you do now.
It's a different crime. Should you have the same things for different crimes? Same sentence for different crimes? Lying about a crime is different from the crime. I don't want to say the grape, grape. That's the two different crimes. Of course, it shouldn't be the same. It's ridiculous.
I don't think it's ridiculous. I think because if he does get found guilty, he has to do 15 years. So her lying should, I think that weighs the same amount. That's the same amount weight because you're taking something from someone.
Yeah, put it this way. So Walter, let's say, for example, you went out one night, you had a few drinks, went home with the girl, nothing happened, and then in the morning, no, Walter, pay attention, bro. Right, in the morning, the next day in the afternoon, you're at home, the cops turn up and they say you've been accused of SA. You go to court. Hang on.
Question 3 different ways.
Hang on. You go through a trial. It takes a year to get there. You pay $15,000 to a lawyer. You lose. You're convicted, but you appeal. So you go another year, and then thankfully, the jury finds you. The jury finds you innocent. Can you imagine being there, hearing that verdict? You're facing 15 years in jail, and then some new video turns up, and it turns out she was lying. Should she do 15 years? Should she do 15 years?
No.
Well,
in America,
perjury would have a different sentence to rape.
It's not perjury. In America, in certain jurisdictions, you can go to jail for life, but you have to prove that they did it maliciously. That's pretty tough to do, a lot of the time. But if you do that, they can actually go away for life in some jurisdictions in America.
That's brutal. So, Walter, if you're facing 15 years because of her false accusations, and it's proven she lied, what should she face? What's the appropriate penalty for her?
It would depend what the penalty was for perjury.
No, just answer the fucking question, bro. Come on.
The word, can I get like 1 minute to answer before you interrupt me again, please?
It's beyond perjury, though. Before you answer, it's beyond perjury. It's perverting the system. It's a totally different thing than
it's perjury. Also libel. It's also defamation. It's also it's a whole bunch of things.
Let Wildheart rock out, and then I want to say something after he rock out. But go ahead. I want to hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna tell you something.
So imagine a woman lies about someone raping her, and someone lies about someone, I don't know what to say, like ending someone. Do you know what I mean? The crime will be the same, lying about a crime, but you get the same. One will be put away for the sentence of murder, and one will be put away for the sentence of rape. It's difficult. So the same crime, and they get two different sentences. How is that fair? The person that lied about both crimes, or the two people that lied about different crimes, wouldn't get the same sentence for the same crime. They will get the sentence that they lied about, the crime that they lied about. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Thank you, Lord. I appreciate it.
Okay, so Wildheart, do you think that the sentencing is, they have like ranks, like levels of sentencing based on the severity of the outcome? So if you punch someone in the face, you might get a month in jail. If you cut someone's arm off, right, or stab them, you might get like 6 months. If you delete someone, you might get like 25 years. There's levels to the crime or the sentencing based on the outcomes. If she accuses you of a thing that will put you in jail for 25 years, that's a pretty severe outcome. Shouldn't she pay the price for doing that?
No, because she's committed a different crime. She's not committed the crime. She's not committed the rape or the other one. She's committed the crime of, changing the cause of justice or whatever it's called, or perjury, whatever it's called. She's not committed the crime. So she shouldn't get sentenced for the crime that she's lied about. She should get sentenced for lying about the crime, which is the crime that she's committed.
So yesterday we were talking about Black Wall Street, right? I know, many people probably ain't familiar with it, but what happened in Black Wall Street was a little white girl said this black dude whistled at her, and white people came in and burnt the whole goddamn city down. And right before she died, she admitted that she lied. Nothing happened to her, but do you understand the impact of how her actions could influence?
Oh, I get it, bro.
So
I think
what these brothers, what we're trying to convey to you is the severity, the intent, the malicious intent to lie on someone knowing they're going to get this punishment because they lie. We're saying that should be the equivalent, and why it should be because it would deter people from lying. It's just simple. So when you say it doesn't logically make sense, I think it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. Because if someone knows I'm gonna lie on this dude, And if I get away with the lie, he gonna get 15 years. But if I don't, then I'm gonna get 15 years. That'll make a person think more than okay, I get a slap on the wrist.
I agree. So if you want a really, really good example, Wildheart and the word, look up the Duke University. It's American. Look up the Duke University lacrosse team. Okay.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know about.
You know it? Yeah, bro. And those boys have never recovered.
Bro,
they've never recovered from that.
And to be honest, bro, it's 1,000 stories. I know 2 people that didn't even make national news who that happened to, and they had potential to go to the league. One dude had a scholarship to Howard, and he lost the scholarship because of some girl lied. He wasn't even in a room when it happened. She had a train ran on her. She was a freak. Everybody knew it. She came home late, lied, and pointed at him. You know why? Because he was the lame. He was the one. If you'd have said that to anybody else, it would have been consequences behind it. If they didn't touch you, the people would have. He didn't have that. So it was easy to say, oh, instead of telling her mom, like, look, I'm a little nasty freak and I let boys do this all the time, she lied and said this dude got her. He lost the scholarship. He ended up getting on drugs, but he good now. He became a pastor and cleaned himself up. But that fucked him up, bro. That shit fucked him up.
The point is,
and also if you want to go further, Jesus. Sorry, I shouldn't have said Jesus. Check out how many female teachers are doing inappropriate things with 14-year-old boys. It's unbelievable. It's like a fucking epidemic. Like I'm wondering what the hell is going on. Every week there's another one.
What has that got to do with lying about a crime? You just totally change the topic for no reason.
Shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. You aren't helping, bro. You aren't helping. I don't know who you're talking to. Like, it's like you're in some other fucking panel.
You have to respond after everyone else.
He's the co-host, man. He's the co-host.
You just keep, yes, I'm the co-host of the world, bro, so get used to it.
He's the host at the moment because he's speaking.
That's my interpreter.
And he's self-imposed.
Wildheart, yes, I'm self-imposed, so what?
Yeah, so stop it. Rude.
Well, you keep dropping in with these weird comments that aren't even fucking relevant, bro. It's literally like you're on some other panel and you think you're speaking to us.
No, I'm talking to you, specifically Ozzy. Stop talking so much. You don't have to speak.
Stop talking so much.
Talking. I can't get a fucking word in edgewise with you on.
I can't get a word in, bro. Every time you open your fucking mouth. Wildheart, it's cool, bro. It's cool, bro. We're having a bit of fun.
Peanut butter petty time.
I know, right?
You gotta get that drop. Peanut butter petty time.
You got to keep even the ancient Greeks knew. Even the ancient Greeks knew we have to have fun. They had their Greek tragedies with their terrible stories, but there was a little bit of comedy. There's always a little bit of fun in there, bro. Just relax, chill. It's all good face, bro.
No comedy in you talking over everyone all the fucking time. That's not comedy.
I'm pretty sure you aren't being funny right now. Say something funny, bro. Make a joke. Knock, knock. Something. Come on, bro.
Knock, knock. Who's there? An amazingly fucking arrogant, ignorant, well, I was a fucking twat. Is that funny? I thought it was. Actually, it was just really, it wasn't funny. It was true.
That wasn't funny, bro. Come on. You can do better. You can do better.
Just stop talking. You don't have to talk after everyone else finishes a fucking sentence.
I'm pretty sure that's you.
And you changed the subject. He was asking about lying about a crime, and you changed it to teachers having sex with 14-year-olds. You're mental.
Let me ask y'all this. How do y'all feel about integrity? How do you
number one, 100%. Integrity is Integrity is number 2 after honesty.
What was the full question though?
How do you determine, or how do you define someone's integrity?
You look at what they say and what they do, and if they're the same thing, that's integrity.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's been pretty easy to tell who has integrity, because people lie. Most people lie, and the second they do it, you believe that that's who they are, because that's what they're gonna do, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I would just say it's like a synonym for honesty. Like if you're honest, then you got integrity. I would say.
Correct. Yeah, correct, Wildheart. I learned about integrity when I was raising my daughter. When she was around 15 and the boys are sniffing around and they were fucking with her head. And she asked me about what's going on. And I said, daughter, I won't say her name. I said, daughter, watch what he does, because words are cheap. He'll say things, but what he does is who he is. Just watch that.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, it's like actions rather than, yeah, that's good point.
And Wildheart got a question in the chat, and then I want to ask something else about Stoic, speak easy, rubbed off. What? Okay, I shouldn't have read that. I don't know what that means. Wildheart, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think you have a soul?
No, I don't think souls exist.
No.
There's never been any evidence for a soul, so I don't think they exist because there's no evidence that they do.
So Neff, he don't have a soul.
I don't think anyone.
He met Shang Tsung at a very young age. Your soul is mine. But okay, so
Can anyone demonstrate there's a soul? I'm not being
you know how I demonstrate my soul? It's my internal guidance system. All right. My soul is where my empathy comes from.
No.
My soul is bro, you don't like, I'm not answering nothing else from Wild, but that's what my soul is.
I mean, if I say something wrong, I expect people to correct me.
But how is that wrong? Where does empathy come from?
We know where empathy comes from in the brain. We know which parts it comes from in the brain. I don't know, but science know that it comes from parts of the brain, empathy.
Okay, so what part of the brain does consciousness come from?
The whole brain. It's an emergent property of the whole brain, consciousness. Yeah.
So if I tell you our soul, so when you say soul, you don't think it can be part of the brain, like consciousness? It just can't be measured or seen? Can you measure the consciousness?
If it can't be measured or seen, then yeah, we shouldn't believe it exists.
So you can measure the consciousness.
Yeah, we know we have consciousness because we're conscious.
We know we have consciousness. Yeah, we know we have consciousness, but we can't measure it. So how is it? Yeah, since we can't quantify consciousness, we don't actually know how it works. How can you say that you believe in consciousness, but you don't believe in a soul?
Because we don't need the soul. Every part of everything that people claim is due to the soul can be mapped to the brain. So we don't need the soul, and there's no evidence for it. We know we have consciousness because we're conscious. We don't know we have a soul. People claim we do, but
so you say you can.
Well, here's the hard question. It's known as the hard question in philosophy. What is consciousness?
Yeah, it is. Right. It's not been solved. Yeah, we don't know exactly.
Well,
but we know we have.
I'm serious. Like maybe we can do it right now. Maybe we could solve. Maybe us some 5 retards on the internet could solve the hard problem in philosophy. What is consciousness?
We don't know, but we know that it exists because we're conscious. So we know for certain that consciousness exists.
Yeah, we also don't know about God, but we know he exists.
No, you claim that he exists.
You just made my argument for me.
You said we know that he exists. I don't know that he exists. When you say we, who do you mean? People who believe in God. So they believe that God exists. They don't know that God exists, and they can't demonstrate that God exists. That's a problem.
So, I forgot what I was about to say to Wildheart.
I think you were going to define consciousness.
Psychology. You know what is psychology? You know what psychology is? Well,
Yeah, like the study of like human behavior.
okay. Do you know where that word originated from? You know the root word is like.
Yeah, psychology is obviously like biology and all that, like the study of. I would imagine.
If you look up the etymology of psychology, it literally means study of the soul, because they understood the way our behavior dictates from how we are emotionally responding to things.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter the etymology of the word. They could have believed there was a soul and they named it after that, and they could have been wrong.
They just defined it to say consciousness. That's all they did.
It's a good point, though.
If you look at all the ancient teachings, they told you the difference between the soul and the spirit. Like the Cometics, they tell you about the Ka and the Ba. Even when you go into Christianity, God blew breath into the living being. To Adam, and create a living soul. When they bit the apple, that's when they became whole with knowledge. That was the spirit.
But that's
the scriptures in the Bible.
And I don't believe it was reliable or accurate.
So
there was a time when
I have a question for Wildheart.
Sorry, Brian.
Wildheart.
Sorry, Brian.
Wildheart.
Yeah.
Do you think that the vast majority of scientists believe in God?
I'm not sure.
There's a correct answer. There's a correct answer on this one.
I don't know it. I don't know the correct answer. I'm not sure. I don't know.
It's yes.
That's fine. Yeah.
Science ain't nothing but to describe and explain God's creation. That's all. That's why they're supposed to work together, bro.
But
the real question, Wildheart, would be, why would the most rational, intelligent, like scientific people, why would the vast majority of all these, the smartest logical brains in the mind in the world, why would they believe in God? Are they stupid?
No,
half stupid and half intelligent?
I know your question. You don't have to repeat it 3 times. No, it's because they compartmentalize something. Someone could be a biologist, which has nothing to do with God, do their job well as a scientist, be really intelligent, and then compartmentalize the bit about religion, which is what most religious people do.
Fair call. So if you want to see a really good example of someone doing that, look up Richard Dawkins, who's the most eminent biological evolutionist on the planet, but he isn't. But he's not he isn't a philosopher's asshole, and he tries to do philosophy. Well, here's a question: is philosophy worthwhile? There you go. Is philosophy like a real thing? Is it worth following?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing now.
Why?
Because it gets you answers to things. There's scientific philosophy, and it's worthwhile. Yeah.
Philosophy is reliable and gets you answers. Answers to what?
Sometimes whatever you ask questions about, sometimes it gets you answers, sometimes it doesn't. You can ask a philosophical question about anything. It's not.
Well, hang on. Nefertiti, Wildheart. So, how do you think you got here as a human being? Or with you, I should say, how do you think humans came to be? Okay. Nefertiti asking Wildheart, how did humans come to be?
Evolution. We evolved from we didn't evolve from monkeys, modern monkeys. We share a common ancestor with monkeys.
Okay, if you came here by evolution, why should I respect your opinion?
Because evolution is true. I don't know.
Well, evolution.
It's demonstrated. Evolution can be demonstrated. It's a change in the field.
Darwin's evolution? What evolution is it? What have we seen evolve?
Yeah, we've seen lots of things evolve.
Like what?
Fruit flies. There are lots of things. Plus, we have evidence. The fossil record, the DNA record, is evidence. You don't have to watch something evolve because it takes millions of years. You can't possibly watch it evolve, but we have evidence for it in the fossil record and the DNA record. The DNA, yeah.
Tell me the evolution of something. Give me something that evolved.
So your microphone's gone a bit.
No,
like,
my bad. Yeah, I switched mics. No, I was saying, give me something that evolved. You said we got records and stuff, so give me an example.
everything evolved.
You said a fruit fly. What did a fruit fly evolve from?
Evolution. Evolution is defined as a change in allele frequencies over time. We know that happens. That definitely happens. Evolution exists. That is definitely.
What's the difference? What's the difference between evolution and adaptation?
I mean, whales have, they still have the lifelike inside from when they were land animals and then moved back into. There's lots and lots of evidence of evolution. They used to be like, I can't remember, like hippos or something like that. And they went into the sea and they evolved.
So eventually, because of evolution, if we keep going our current rate with the sun rays, with the exposure of the sun rays on the planet, everyone should be black eventually.
No.
Why not?
Because we live on different parts of the planet. Like it was.
So there should be there. Yeah. So there should be no evidence of white people by the equator.
Yeah, that's why different countries have different skin colors. Yeah. It'd be weird for an Eskimo who lives in like wherever to be black because they don't get as much sun, so they don't need to be black.
No, but that's when you tan, when the sun hits you, that's what the rays do. They either burn you or absorb.
But they don't
absorb and increase the melanin.
Melanin. But if you're living in the Antarctic, you don't need as much melanin.
That's why I use the equator. Yeah. I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah. But my bad. Go ahead.
No, white people evolve because they move to different parts of the world, and in some parts you don't get as much sun, so you don't need the melanin.
It's another reason I don't believe in evolution, because if such thing is evolution, you just said it takes millions of years. So how did white people evolve? You had to say white people been here.
It doesn't take millions of years. Like you can have changes in like one generation. Like each change doesn't take millions of years. It's just evolution. It depends which species you're going from and to. Do you know what I mean? But like humans, like changing skin color, wouldn't take millions of years because it's the same species, and it'd be shorter because it's
Yeah, I think skin color is no different. I think skin color is no different from hair color or eye color. Who fucking cares, bro?
Oh yeah, but I mean, there is a reason for it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving the reason.
No, fair enough.
You shouldn't care.
No, I gotcha. No, I gotcha. If you live in northern Alaska, you'll probably evolve white skin because it makes you a bit more invisible in the snow to the polar bears. If you live in Central Africa, you probably need more melanin because you're out in the sun all fucking day. That's fair enough. That's basic facts. No problem with that.
And that is evolution. So you agree with evolution then?
I do. Yeah.
I think there's more of adaptation. You adapt into the environment.
Yeah.
How is that evolution?
That's what evolution.
Yeah, evolution is that's like something evolving into something else versus the same thing just adapting to the environment.
Yeah.
So when they explain evolution, that's more of adaptation than
right.
It's not really adaptation. It just means that everything that didn't work died.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Everything that didn't work died, and the things that did work, they survived. It's brutal. It's really brutal. 99.9% of species on the earth went extinct through evolution.
Not through evolution. They didn't go extinct through evolution.
Through evolution, yeah.
They didn't go extinct through evolution. is the ones that evolution, the ones that evolved wells to fit their environment, they survived. But the ones that died didn't die due to evolution. They just died, and they, weren't as well as that.
You're kind of agreeing with me. You're kind of agreeing with me, right?
Weren't as well as
So are
that.
we saying that evolution? Are we saying that evolution created extinction? Is that what we're saying here?
No.
I'm saying that the claim that evolution by natural selection is survival of the fittest, right? The fittest doesn't mean the strongest. It means the most fit for purpose.
The ones that fit most well into their environment.
Correct.
So
oh my God, why am I agreeing with you, bro? What's going on here?
but the ones that don't, it doesn't mean that evolution killed them. They just died because they didn't adapt very well to their environment. That's not evolution killing them.
Yes. I sound like I'm anthropomorphizing evolution. Fair call. Yes. Again, I agree with Lionheart, or Wildheart. I can't believe this. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, wake up.
This is the best 5 minutes ever. Then let's go.
So evolution refers to the broader process of change in the population's genetic makeup over time, while adaptation is a specific trait or characteristic that allows an organism to better survive in the environment. So
yeah, it got to be an adjustment.
What he was describing, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the broader process, I haven't seen that yet. I don't see evidence of it.
I mean,
well, you can't say it because it takes like 400 million years for it to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of it in the DNA evidence. Like, we're like 98% closely related to chimpanzees. And the further you go back, the further we are apart from other animals, it goes less and less and less and less. But in a way that we can make sense of.
We got genetic makeup of bananas, bro. We share genetic traits of bananas too, bro. So,
that's true, like 99%. Yeah, we do.
Man.
We do. Like 99%, we share DNA with the banana.
This is the concept of one divineness, bro. That's the concept of it. Why you think? Like we have THC metabolism. They tell us weed is bad for us, but we have metabolites in our body to break it down and carry it through various. Our body is conditioned and made to consume THC. So how is it bad for us?
Sorry, your mic's gone again. I can't understand what you're saying. Do it, so.
My bad. Yeah, I stepped outside. My bad. Go ahead, y'all rock out. I'll be back.
Just going to say, the word and fellas on panel, I finally agree with Wildheart on something. So this would be a great time for me to leave on a good note. It's been a great chat.
I think you're sleepy. I think the wife hit you over the head with a frying pan or something. I don't know what happened or what occurred in this moment of agreement, but yeah, definitely sleep on that one.
Yeah, bro. Thank you, brother. It's been a great.
We clipping this.
It's been a great panel. It's been a great panel. The word, thank you, brother. You're a great host. And chat, you're mental. Okay, chat's been going off. And Wildheart. I can't believe I agreed on something at last. And everybody else on panel, thanks for having me up. I'll talk to you next time. Take care, brothers.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. You too. Appreciate you. That was incredible. Wildheart, you rubbing off on people. This is Is this evolution right here?
That's evolution. The whole genetic makeup of thought changed. The whole genetic makeup of his thought process changed. He evolved into a Wildheart.
Oh Lord. Woo. Got to be more careful.
Heart is wild.
Where you at? His heart is wild, right?
Oh, man.
Yo, so fast.
Yeah. I'm gonna end it over on Petty Vision. We're gonna rock out. So if y'all over there, come back over here.
Come back, chat,
How does that?
come on back. I was
I don't want
commanding.
to
Chat,
remove you.
come on back.
Oh, yeah, okay. I tried to stream on on Facebook today, but it didn't allow me.
Wow. You going back to the book, huh?
Well, I got people over there, so I was trying to bring them over here. So.
Come to the light. The force
Stop
is strong
listening to
with this
Wild Heart.
one.
What do you say? I stopped listening to Wild Heart, so I don't know what Ozzy agreed. Yeah, man, I don't know. So Ozzy, so what we learned tonight about emotional intelligence, that Ozzy would not concede, even if he does it. He want to call it emotional control when there's more components to it than just control. So that's the point I wanted to make. There's more components than control. Hey, I will argue there's times that you don't even have to be aware and you can control. You can, maintenance your emotion. And that was kind of forced upon me when I was younger, when I was told, man up, don't cry, suck it in, hold it in. We weren't allowed to express, or we wasn't aware of how we felt. We just knew we couldn't. So I believe you can have emotional control and not properly be able to express it or be aware. So control is just a component of emotional intelligence.
I thought we were gonna go somewhere further with the conscious conversation.
I ain't going no further with you. I'm straight. I'm good, man. We ain't gonna get no. Don't you go with me? Square dance with me. That's all we gonna be. Square dance.
I know. Me, you, Commander had that conversation about the conscious and the soul and the spirit. We had that conversation. So I mean, y'all gonna have to catch the replay.
Yeah, Stoic, bring your butt up here, bro. We just chilling, bro. We talking now. We can talk about anything. Except for Wild Heart Soul, because he ain't got one.
He got one. That's crazy.
He left his soul in El Segundo. El Segundo. That's where he left it.
He left it at Stonehenge. Nah, he left it at Stonehenge. I don't know how. So what is his body working with? It's just moving around aimlessly.
Taking his dog out. That's why I say it's a navigation system.
I guess
bro.
that's I think it's subjective. I guess for other people.
Sorry.
I guess it's subjective for other people. So I don't know. I'm different because I truly believe I believe that a body can't live without a soul. So I'm different.
No, it's not subjective. There either is a soul or there is not a soul. That's objective. Whether people believe in it or not, that's subjective. The actual fact of the matter as to whether a soul exists, it either does or it doesn't. And I don't think it does, but I could be wrong.
When has anything been presented to say we don't have a soul?
But that's not how we do it. You should only believe in something once there is sufficient evidence to justify that belief. You don't have to prove the soul doesn't exist. If you claim that there's a soul, then you have to demonstrate that that's
demonstrate.
But if there's sufficient evidence, you don't have to believe. You would know. Do we understand there's a difference between believing and knowing?
There is, but knowledge is difficult. Well, you got like justified true belief, and it all gets into philosophy, and it's complicated.
No, belief and knowing is two different concepts, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. Knowledge is a subset of belief. So if you take all your beliefs, basically, I think knowledge is just saying you really, 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 really believe something.
No, knowledge has nothing to do with belief at all.
No, it does.
Knowledge is knowing.
Yeah, believing
is thinking.
No, knowledge is a
Believing
subset.
is thinking.
You can't know something and not also believe it. Knowledge
Right.
is a
That's what we just said.
No, it is a belief. If you know something, you also believe it. Everything you know, everything you know, you also believe.
Knowledge.
For
Okay,
example,
look, listen. This is the definition of knowledge. Let's go by definition. Let's just go by definition, right? Knowledge is a term that refers to what is or can be known by an individual or by humankind. It applies to facts or ideas acquired by study, investigation, observation, or experience. Knowledge can include any information sources that can be used to find meaning. Has nothing to do with belief. Now, when you look at belief,
we'll go to the religious aspect. It will go to the religious aspect. Do you believe in religion or do you know religion?
Right, think of something that you know that you don't also believe. If you know that God exists, you also believe that God exists. If you know you have a right,
no, you don't. No, because if you believe something, you doubt it.
Yeah, belief leads
knowing is knowing.
Because belief is accept something as true, feel sure of truth of, accept the statement as true, have faith, and we know what faith is, especially religious faith. So faith is accepting what is not known. So knowledge has nothing to do with knowledge. Belief has nothing to do with knowledge.
Right. It's a philosophical thing.
It can, though. It can have something to do with it. I think this is where he's confused, because you can believe something before you know it. So here's another comparison. You can like somebody before you love them, and if you love them, you still like them, right? But when it comes to believing something and then knowing it, you can believe something before you know it, but that doesn't mean that if you know it, that it's still about belief.
Yeah,
okay. So here's a question: if you outgrow a thing, can it still fit?
I don't know the word. If you can share my screen, this is what I'm talking about. It's knowledge is defined as a justified true belief. So knowledge is a justified true belief. It is a belief. In other words, a belief can be considered knowledge as long as it is justified truth. This notion also supposes the belief of knowledge continuum. And by
That's Plato's theory of knowledge. So now we're talking about application of belief, not what belief is. That's how you apply it.
No, it's saying it's also supported by that. That's not where it comes from. Knowledge is defined as justified true belief. Knowledge is a belief. Is a justified true belief.
So what did you search to get that result?
Where'd that come from?
What I'm saying is,
look at that. You prejudiced it by saying knowledge is a subset of belief. So you preloaded it.
Because that's how it's defined in philosophy. Knowledge is a subset of belief. That's how it's defined.
That's the application. Again, that's the application. That's how you apply it. So that's how you're applying something. That's not the definition. Look up the definition.
But look how he put it in there. Knowledge is a substance of belief. That's not what knowledge is.
It's how you can apply. That's the difference between using something and utilizing something. A knife can be used to cut your food, or it can be used to cut people.
The difference between belief and knowledge. Lastly, knowledge is a subset of belief. That's how it's defined in what's it called? Philosophy. That's how
in philosophy, you're applying different concepts. You almost merge different concepts. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the usage, how it's used. You're talking about how you applying it. So if you you can apply knowledge to belief, but knowledge is not a belief.
No, it's
okay. So here's a question for you, Wildheart. Do you think that you can know something without first believing that it's true?
No, that's what I'm saying. Everything you know, you also believe.
No, but that's not true.
can't know
That's not true
it's
at all.
true. You can't know something and not also believe it's true. You can't know something is true and not believe that it's true. Everything you know, you also believe. That's what I mean. That's what it means. Knowledge
No,
is
but if something is shown to be knowledge to you by having evidence, you don't necessarily have to first believe to see the evidence. No,
you might not have to first believe it, but if
you
you
don't
know
have to
something,
first believe it. If the question is, do you get wet when it rains and you're outside? You don't have to believe that to figure it out. You just step outside, you get wet, and then you go, "Yep, I get
and then
wet
you
when it's raining
Well,
outside."
and
You
then
don't
you
have to
know it,
believe it.
and you
here's a
believe
better
it.
question. Here's a better question.
I
Let me
don't
see if I
care.
can. Go ahead, Wild. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So no, just research it. It's like one of the basic things in philosophy. I don't care. You know, I'm not. It's not worth arguing about. But that is the definition of knowledge. It's a subset of belief.
Philosophically, that's the definition, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah, that's not the
Here's a question.
definition.
Here's the
That's
question,
the
Wild Heart.
application, bro.
Can a belief be a fact? Wild Heart, can a belief be a fact?
Yeah, you can believe something what is a fact. Oh shit! What have I done? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yes, I need.
Do myself right. I don't go like, you know what I mean. Not to me, but
No. Because I don't think that a belief could be a fact. Just like your truth can't be a fact. Your truth is your truth. It doesn't make it a fact.
Right, it's a fact that the sun exists. Do you believe the sun exists? It's a fact that the sun exists. Do you believe the sun exists?
So everything that I look up, can you know something you don't believe, goes back to philosophy, right? That's a philosophical understanding.
Everything about knowledge and belief is in philosophy. That's what philosophy is.
But if you look up the pure definition of knowledge, it doesn't have the belief is not in there. It's not in the definition of knowledge. If you look up the word knowledge, we're not talking about the philosophical definition of knowledge and belief, just the word.
Yeah, if you don't want to go with it, that's fine.
Because that when you go into philosophical aspects, that's the application of the concept versus.
No, it's the definition of it as well. Sorry, I don't want to argue it.
So you can go to the Cambridge. Go to Cambridge. No, just Google definition of belief or definition of knowledge. They're two different things, bro.
Information is important, but understanding the information is vital.
You take that another step further, comprehension of the information.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
No, I'm just saying you can go.
No. I agree with you. No. I'm agreeing
with it. We're gonna get
because I mean,
here we go. Rare believe.
Because some people feel like
you're right.
When you simplify a thing, people get insulted. That's like when people correct you, people get criticized. When you correct somebody, people feel criticized, right?
Yeah,
it's the same type of logic. You know what I mean? So,
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just saying other people. Yes, it's on an individual basis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right.
Put believe up there. What happened?
No, he's right.
He's
right. Definition, it doesn't mention belief in knowledge. I've just looked it up. He's right. Yeah.
And see, that's all I'm saying is how not under. I mean, is how we are applying things.
Yeah.
That's why, even when you look at words, they have a base definition, but then when it turns into a noun, it evolves into something else. So
when it turns into adjective, that's the evolution you've been looking for. Then that's the evolution right there.
Reading
That's the evolving right
okay,
there.
so you came from evolution. How did evolution start, Wild Heart? You should know from
Yeah, evolution started.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting question.
works, right? Because you say you can't believe nothing unless you can say how it came.
Yeah,
Oh, that's from Wild Heart.
Yeah, it's abiogenesis. Evolution only starts after the beginning of life. Life from non-life. But that's a different topic. That's abiogenesis. How life,
Hold on.
non-life.
Hold on. You said life and no life. What?
Abiogenesis is how, obviously, at one point there was no life in the universe, and at some point, something that was not living turned into something that was living. That's abiogenesis.
So a non-living,
So biogenesis
non-living
is
thing
not.
can evolve.
So
No, evolution is not about how living things came to be. Evolution is how they changed after they became living things.
so you saying it's not logical how we became.
No, it is
because
logical.
it came from non-life. Well, that doesn't match.
It is logical.
Law of identity.
Yeah, no, it is.
Non-life can't create life.
Yeah, that's what
Only life can create life. So it's not logical.
That's what abiogenesis is. And we've studied it, and we don't have all the answers yet. But like I said, there were like 12 things that
We gotta have answers. You're not gonna get away with that one. You're not getting away with that one.
But
you cannot get away with that. Hold on. He can't get away with that because he just. Go ahead, Word. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say so it's not logical.
I'll just just research it. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I don't care to argue about it. I mean, that is what.
No, it's not an argument. Are we questioning you? Wild Heart, you always question people. Now you don't like being questioned.
Yeah, but I know that's a fact. So when people argue with me,
when you say Genesis, non-life coming from life, that's not logical.
It is logical. We know that it's
non-life create life. I'm sorry.
Have you heard of the Miller-Urey experiments? We've demonstrated that I think it's Miller-Urey experiments in the 70s. We have demonstrated that life can come from non-life. We don't know what the conditions were on Earth, but we've demonstrated that it can happen, life and non-life.
I haven't seen that.
We don't know how it happened on this planet because we don't know the conditions and exactly how it happened on this planet. But we've demonstrated that life can come from non-life.
Hey, Wildheart, what do you think about the concept of panspermia?
Sorry?
What do you think about the concept of panspermia?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't know whether that's what happened on this planet, but I think it's possible. We found the beginnings of life.
Proof.
The building blocks of life on meteors. So a meteor could have come here with I forget what they're called.
Okay.
The building blocks of life.
So we watching Superman now.
So hold on, Ward. Can you? I'm looking. I'm Googling right now.
Yeah.
And it says this transition has never been directly observed in a laboratory setting and remains subject of ongoing research.
Yeah. But that's on this planet. But they have demonstrated that.
So it's just a theory and observed. But you said it's been. Where did they demonstrate it? Because I'm reading that it hasn't been observed
in the 70s.
I might be wrong, but I think the Miller-Urey experiment. But it doesn't apply to this planet. They just demonstrated that under some conditions it can happen. I think, but I could be wrong about it. Obviously, I'm not a biologist. I never finished school. I left school at 14. You know what I mean? Never got any.
No, I'm not neither. I'm not. I like science, but I ain't nowhere close to a biologist. I just never heard of life. Let me look it up. Okay, arose from a non-living matter more than 3.5 billion years ago on Earth. Complex nature. The study of biogenesis involved understanding how organic molecules form under the Earth. This is leading to the development development of living cells. Various scientific experiments, such as the Urey-Miller experiment, have explored the conditions that have.
Is there a link to the Miller experiments? Because that's the one that I think demonstrated it could happen, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they're trying to, but I don't think they actually accomplished it.
I know they haven't done it for on this planet. I thought they'd done it like under different conditions, but I'll say I could be wrong.
Wait, we got planet on other lives? We got life on other planets? I ain't know that.
No. They did experiments, but they didn't use the conditions that were on Earth when life began on Earth.
So
they did it in the laboratory.
System that mimic the same as the primordial Earth environment that exists. Explain. Okay.
Stop laughing, Commander.
Okay, explains the setup. Okay, what is going on here?
I don't know.
In 1952, by chemist Stanley Miller. Okay, let's see. Simulated the conditions on Earth's atmosphere, possibly of spontaneous formation of light or from non-living matter. Experimentation is often asked to explain Miller's experiment with the diagram.
That's when they made the Captain America serum too, 1952.
Okay, here we go.
That might be a possibility. She might have demonstrated the possibility that could be it. Yeah. Might have just demonstrated.
Commander. I'm just joking, Commander.
But I mean, either way,
nah, he got away with one. He got away with one though earlier.
Fatty acids.
Because he always tell us he need proof, and then he comes up with a theory with no proof, and then that's a fact.
That's conclusion. Experiment
that's what it comes to be.
Basic organism compounds, including amino acids, could arise from simple inorganic molecules under the stimulation earlier of conditions. Despite criticism, it has remained a landmark. Yeah. For the plausibility of life emergence. So they just created amino acids, bro, and sugars and fatty acids. That's not life, bro.
That's not a living thing.
Yeah, that's fine. But our best guess is that is how it happened. But even if God breathed man into existence or whatever, that would be abiogenesis. It's life coming from non-life. God isn't like a live being. He's a spiritual being. So even if God did it, it would still be abiogenesis. We know that life came from non-life somewhere because life didn't exist and it did. So somehow we know that it happened.
7555, what up? Did I say too many five? 755, what up?
Yes,
my bad. I'm getting a little sleepy, y'all. I'm like 7555, 555. But
that's the number 555. Call her.
555. But
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It makes sense. Now, what if this happened? Just hypothetically, right? What if this being was like, man, I need to create something, and was like, okay, I'm gonna create the universe, bam, and then he said, from that universe, I need something smaller. Let me create a planet, bam. Then okay, now we get a planet, but we need something smaller than that. Let's create people, bam, and that's why we got the essence of planets, animals, everything that's within the creation. We have particles of it. We have pieces of it. We got pieces of the universe. The compound that created the universe is within us. The trees is within us. The animals is within us. It's just, God made different versions, and every version he made something else out of that.
Yeah, that's possible. There's no evidence for it.
Mm-hmm.
say what if that happened, and it's possible, but with no evidence that's what happened. We do have evidence.
Well, that's why everything is linked. That's why everything has.
But that's just a claim. I mean, you know,
just like biogenesis.
Yeah.
Oh,
All this shit is like, look, man, we
only get away from you today.
But we know that it happened because we know there was one time in the universe where there was no life, and now there is. So we know that biogenesis happened somehow because we went our lives alive. We know that.
Where's the proof that there was no life?
That's what I was going to say.
The universe is like 14-something billion years old, and the only elements that existed were carbon, hydrogen, and a little bit of lithium. That there couldn't have been any life at the start of the universe. So we know
how
do we know that if nobody was there to?
Yeah, how do we know that? Right? There's no witness. I asked that 2 hours ago.
Yeah, because of the evidence we've got, the cosmic microwave background is good evidence for it. The red shifting stars is good evidence for it, and there's a few others. I'm not a physicist either, you know what I mean? But we've got evidence that the Big Bang happened.
Because we know the problem trying to get the whole time. That's what his whole logic was about the whole time. Big Bang Theory. That's my
problem with that. With what you're talking about, everything that you're talking about is predicated on light, and it's basically requiring light, right?
Yeah, but do you know what a theory is in science? Theory is the highest thing you can get. You can't get higher than a theory. Do you know what I mean? When you say it's just a theory, no, the theory is the highest thing. It contains laws. It contains facts. Theory is a theory. Explanation.
A theory is a belief. It's a belief. It's not a fact.
It is kind of. It's not 100%, but it's the best model we have, given all the evidence. That's what a theory is. You can't get higher than a theory in science.
Right, but basically, you're going back to what I was saying. Yeah. Everything that you're talking about is just relating to observing light. That's it. Everything that you're saying is it's all about light.
No, light's part of it, but it's not the elements.
No, it's all of it. That redshift, that's observing light.
That's the end all be all.
No, cosmic microwave background is heat. They basically map the whole universe, and there's like a picture with all green and red, you know, like how they did it, and it works out that it's evidence for the Big Bang. So I've been talking for a long time.
Hold on, bro. You just said they mapped the whole universe?
Not mapped it. They took like temperature. They took this temperature. I'll see if I can find the picture of it.
A theory is a belief. That's what I just said.
You know, I mean, scientists believe in different universes. Bro. It's a lot when it there's theories of different time dimensions, bro.
No, that's not the scientific one. The second one, I believe, policy or procedure proposed. That's not. It's the first one that's a scientific theory. It does have a colloquial definition as well, which is like you use it like a guess or something. But in science, a theory, like it says, a plausible general principle or body principles often to explain phenomena. It's like the overarching, like the theory of evolution contains laws, it contains facts. Like everything we know about evolution is contained in the theory of evolution. Like the top thing that you can get inside.
Give me 1 second. Shout out to
I was about to say, right, go ahead, Will.
Shout out to Ozzy. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Get that money. I don't come the money.
get.
Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to Ozzy with the super chat.
I've got a share screen backstage for the cosmic microwave radiation, whatever it's
Hey,
called.
give me 1 second. I literally just stepped out. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back in.
So
Yeah.
about the
Nah, go
cosmic
ahead.
microwave background, it's also measured using light as well. It's all light.
But yeah, like I say, I'm stupid. I don't know next to nothing. You know what I mean? I could be wrong about any of this. It's just I think most of it's right. But check yourself. Do you know what I mean? Don't trust me. Yeah.
No, you just give us, you just allow us to have things to like research,
Just look. Yeah. But I'm
and
not
then
saying.
that's how. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what I believe and research it. Fact check me.
Yeah,
I very well be wrong.
but that's how a thing that's how a thing becomes like that's how a thing become understanding.
Yeah.
Dare I say, a factual aspect. If we all like, there's four of us here, right? Now we all
Yeah.
do the research, right? We're going
Yeah.
through the research. Now all four of us say, okay, we can agree that this is either true or it's not true. So if it's true, we can say that's a fact because we all come to an agreement to say that's a fact. If it's not, if we don't agree on it, then it's just an opinionated or a theory that is being that can't be
No,
proven.
I mean, even in science, they don't claim anything as a fact. It's just the best model we have to explain it. They never claim like 100% fact. So there's like the consensus in science, which, like, if most biologists believe something in the field of biology, then it's consensus. So that's as close as you get to fact. But it doesn't claim like this is 100% true. Do you know what I mean? Because we could get new evidence that proves it false.
Okay, wait till my guy come back. Shout out to Baba. Shout out to
You
Baba
dropped
for the
off?
super chat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bubba. Oh, appreciate that. Hold on, bro. I didn't even see that. Appreciate that.
This one. Let's make this one. Money.
Rob just hit me too. Appreciate you, Rob. Hold on. I appreciate y'all. Y'all about to motivate me to make some more drops for that. I appreciate that, man. Y'all really helped me out. I promise you do. What was I about to say? Yeah, but that's the whole nature of the decorum over here. Having these discussions versus, we can have debates, but the discussion, you get more to the, oh, my bad, wrong one. I tried to take that off. But with the discussions, you get more information out of, I think, because at some point you can agree to disagree, and then you can actually get into the information. Yeah,
And it's
that's
not
all I
a
want
lot
to say.
calmer as well. Yeah, if I wasn't here, it would be a lot calmer.
Okay, cosmic relative radiation, microwave radiation, that fills all space and version. And optical
It's like
telescope,
that.
the background between the stars and the galaxy was almost completely dark. However, the proficiency and sensitive radio telescopes detect. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I had
That's the entire
Right.
universe and the hot spots and cold spots, and they predicted it before they did all this. They predicted how it should look if the Big Bang happened, and then they did all this, and it works out. You know, they were right. That's how we know it's, you know, probably true.
Well, we got a question from Nefertiti for Wild Heart again. She asks us, there we go.
Instead of not believing in God, have you ever reached out to God? Yes, I've read the whole Bible. I've prayed to Jesus and God thousands of times. I went to 2 Catholic schools, so yeah, I've reached out to God a lot. Never heard anything back. I think he's got me blocked.
What if one of the voices in your head is God? If it sounded like you, because that's what you're familiar
That's what
with.
your conscience is. That's your conscience.
But again,
your conscience never spoken to you?
Yeah.
When you prayed, have your conscience ever spoken to you?
Not when I pray, no. Nothing happens when I pray.
Oh, okay.
But I think the conscience is in the brain as well, because we're a social species, humans. You know, like animals have it as well. They like help other animals out. It's in the brain. It's not in the soul or anything to do with God that I know of.
Okay. But your conscience can connect you with your supernatural self.
I don't think the supernatural self either. Again, that's a claim that hasn't been demonstrated.
Oh yeah, because so, you don't believe a soul exists. Do you think spirits exist?
No, nothing supernatural.
Okay.
Wow. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because nothing supernatural has ever been demonstrated, or scientifically could ever be nothing supernatural could be demonstrated with science at the moment, because we don't have a methodology to demonstrate supernatural.
So ghosts don't exist. So when people see ghosts, that's not real.
No, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying there's no scientific evidence that they do. That's different. I'm not saying they definitely don't exist. I'm just saying there's not sufficient evidence to demonstrate they do.
But wouldn't a ghost be considered supernatural?
Yeah, if it was demonstrated to exist, but no ghosts have ever been demonstrated to exist. That's the problem.
You never watch Ghost Hunters, bro? Or the Paranormal Activity?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Bro, they got food where you can predict. Bro, we go ghost hunting, bro. I didn't thought, what are those voices on my recorder when everything was silent, but when I hit play, I heard voices? What is that?
Yeah. I mean, that could be many things. I mean, humans are a pattern recognition machine. Patterns were around, do you know what I mean? So it could be that I don't know.
Bro, I got possessed before. I'm telling you, I got possessed. I have evidence. I have first-hand witness testimony that I was possessed.
Yeah, but can you demonstrate that to anyone else?
Not until they possess me again, and I ain't trying to go through that shit no more. I'm straight.
Yeah, but if you can't demonstrate it to anyone else, then it's not been demonstrated. It might be evidence.
So he don't believe.
It's not.
So he don't believe in like levitating from your body. He don't believe none of that. He don't believe the hocus pocus. He don't believe in the tricks. He don't believe in nothing.
No, I do.
I have evidence of them doing it.
Nothing supernatural, but I do believe in a lot of things.
So the Vatican has evidence of them doing exorcism.
Yeah, but they've not got a demonstration that the exorcisms were actually getting rid of demons. You know what I mean? It's the demons we need evidence of, not them doing exorcisms.
We got the demonology book, bro. What you talking about? What are you talking about, bro?
It's not. It's just science doesn't have a method for testing for the supernatural. It only deals with the natural because we don't have a method for testing the supernatural. So literally, at the moment, there cannot be evidence for the supernatural, like scientific evidence. There can't be any because we don't know how to test it.
So science is your God.
He's into Scientology. He got to be into Scientology.
Anything outside of science does not exist.
No,
he's into Scientology. That's it.
What if our understanding of science just hasn't caught up? Because gravitational waves were presented by who? And we just now understanding it now. We just now have physical proof of gravitational wave.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
the
saying
concept was presented back in Einstein's day. So what I'm asking is, what if we haven't just caught up to what?
fine. The supernatural could exist. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying currently we don't have a method to test for it. So up to this date, there has never been any demonstration of the supernatural because we don't know how to test for it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. We could work out a way in the future. And just now we haven't got any evidence of the supernatural.
So it's probably better to say you don't accept it because science doesn't prove it. Because that's the only way of proving something is through science.
No, I'm not saying that's the only way. I'm saying that that's like the best way, but like personal experience, I can't. If you have personal revelation from God, I can't argue with that. It could be evidence for you, but it's hearsay to anyone else. Do you know what I mean? If you can't demonstrate it to anyone else, then it's only useful to you. It doesn't demonstrate the supernatural exists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are people that people got to see it to believe it. This is why, you know, that's why science is always the opposition of faith and religion.
It's not.
That's why the two don't coexist.
That's
why they battle forever.
It's not in opposition. It just can't test for it because we don't have a method. It's not. It doesn't fight against faith. I fight against faith. I fight against faith because it's useless.
You're not the only one that do that, though. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not the only one to do that. People have been debunking religion with science for a long period of time.
Yeah, but science as a whole doesn't argue against faith. Some scientists might do, but science as a whole doesn't argue against faith. It's, you know, it just doesn't. But faith is useless.
Not in totality, no. Not in totality, no.
And faith is useless to look at now what is actually true. I could believe the Bible's true based on faith, and I could believe the exact opposite, the Bible's false based on faith. And there's no way of deciding which one's right. So faith is useless as to, deciding what is actually true.
The thing about science is it requires you to have faith in it as well. You understand that, right?
It doesn't, no, because it gives like statistics, and it doesn't say.
Read the question.
It doesn't.
Read the question on the screen. Read the question on the screen.
Does evolution have to be recreated in front of you in order to believe it? No. Like I said before, we've got fossil evidence and the DNA record and other evidence.
But it's a theory. It's a theory that you believe in.
I just said theory is the highest thing. You can't get higher than the theory. The theory of evolution is like the highest thing you can get in science.
So what he's saying is this, like, even with your understanding of science, right, you have to believe, meaning you have to accept it. If you yourself didn't, experiment, then you're just believing that someone else did and got the results. If you haven't did it yourself.
Yeah, because it's peer review. So someone will do a result, and then other scientists in that field will do the same experiments, and if they get the same results, then it's not just one person doing the experiment. It's tested like over and over to make sure that the experiment was correct.
But that doesn't make it a fact, because what if all them people got together and said, hey, look, we can manipulate people with this information and it's beneficial to us?
No, because they come from different places. They're not.
But they're all still in the same field that they will benefit from.
No, the point of science is they try to prove themselves wrong. That's what you do. You come up with a hypothesis. You say, right, if this is true, then I should be able to go out and test it and come back with these results. And they do that, but they're trying to prove themselves wrong. They're not trying to prove themselves right.
So are you familiar with the cosmological constant?
Yeah. No, you'll have to remind me. I've heard of it, but I'm not sure.
All right. Well, this is one of the laws that was widely accepted as a law for a very long time. And now we're finding out that it's not necessarily constant as we thought it was.
Yeah, that's right. Like I said, science can change. When we get new evidence, we change the theories and we change.
But entire fields of science were created predicated on the idea that it was a constant. You understand?
And then it changed when we got new evidence. That's what science does. That's fine. It's okay for science to change. Unlike the Bible can't change if you get new evidence. Science can. That's better.
Well, the Bible actually did change.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot.
I'm just being real. It changed. It's constantly evolving. But but what we're saying is that, like, even you say peer review, you still have to believe that these people are right. And what bro was saying is, like, a lot of things were accepted. And if you look at it, a lot of it was pushed back in that time, but it was just widely accepted. People went with the flow, bro. And then later on, when people were more courageous, they changed it because a lot of these scientific, but that's what I'm saying. It's not definite.
Yeah,
it's not absolute.
Yeah, science doesn't claim to be 100% true about anything.
A lot of times, that's like even when you're talking about religion or spirituality, that's why it's more important to practice versus just taking someone else's words for things. So if you, like when you were saying you had no experience and God wasn't I would even say try Buddhism, bro.
Yeah, I'm not saying God doesn't exist because I haven't experienced it. I'm just saying.
Have you ever practiced?
I shouldn't believe it. Yeah.
Have you ever practiced? Like you said, you went to Catholic church and you were lessons. That's probably why God ain't speaking to you, bro. I'm being honest with you. I'm being 100% honest with you. Like, forsake those who forsake me.
If I pray to God in Jesus 1,000 times, I read the whole Bible. I went to 2 Catholic schools. There's a lot of Christians that have done a lot less than that, and God speaks to them. Why? Why not me?
You got to develop your own personal relationship with God. And
it's an individual situation.
God is omnipotent. I'm a fuckwit. You know what I mean? The onus is very get in touch with me. If I do all that, there's nothing I can do. It's up to him. Do you know what I mean?
Do you believe that for him to speak to you, that you would have to believe first?
No, that would be impossible. I couldn't choose to believe unless I was convinced.
So you would have to hear something or experience something, and then you'd believe.
Yeah, you have to be convinced that something's true before you believe it. It's not like I could choose to believe it.
So he's going into a thing with a doubt already. So he want to be like Thomas. He got to see it to believe it. That's
I would even
not see it. Be convinced by evidence, any kind of evidence.
Evidence is something that you see. What do you mean?
Not necessarily, no.
Something that can be observed. But I would say that. So if you like when you say believe, I would go even deeper and say accept. Can you accept a phone call if you don't answer the phone?
Sorry,
like you want God to prove something to you versus you proving that you even worthy of God's attention.
Like I said, I went to 2 Catholic schools. I've read the whole Bible, and I've prayed.
No, what I'm asking you is practice. How do you practice what you read and what you experience in your daily life for God to even say, "Hey, let me speak to Wild Heart," or let me?
I mean, I'm generally a good person. I don't go and beating people up or doing anything really wrong. You know what I mean?
That has nothing to do with religion, though.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with accepting God. It's something higher being.
That has nothing to do with that.
If God is all powerful and He wants me to know He exists, then I should know that He exists. He either doesn't exist or He doesn't want to know He exists.
But you making
No,
yourself the center
no.
of attention though. Like, why would God even care if you exist?
Right, think about it. If God is all powerful, he can do anything. He exists and he wants me to know he exists. If an all powerful being wants me to know he exists and I don't, there's a problem there. Do you know what I mean? Either it doesn't exist.
That means you got
okay.
Well, if that's the case, that means you have power too. You have power to resist.
No,
Yes.
he's
Yes,
all powerful.
you absolutely do. Because let me give you an example. Let me give you an example real quick. So there's 3 people sitting here telling you that this is possible, and there's one person that's yourself, is you saying it's not possible.
I
So
never
which
said
one are
it's
you
not.
going to believe?
I said several times it's possible that God exists. I'm just not convinced because I haven't been shown enough evidence. I never claimed that God doesn't exist. It's possible that he does, but I'm not convinced because I haven't seen enough evidence. But if he's all powerful and he wants me to know he exists, why don't I know he exists?
Because there's 3 people trying to explain to you and show to you how it's possible, and you're saying that that's not enough evidence for you. You want to see something, like you want to see manna fall out the sky type situation.
If 3 people tell you that the earth is flat, should you believe that the earth is flat? No, that's a no, clearly.
Yeah, yes, I could believe it. I will believe it until I can prove otherwise.
You could believe something for bad reasons, yeah.
Okay, but then it's up to me to discredit it or not by doing the research. You're not even trying to do the research. You're just standing on the principle that it doesn't exist.
Again, I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I've said 3-4 times now. I'm not saying that God doesn't exist. He could. It's possible that he does.
So you were raised to be religious, right? From the beginning. Is that what you're saying?
I've never believed. I was raised in Catholic school and I went through, baptism and.
Okay, so during that time, is it possible that you were there because they put you there, not because you...
Yeah, I never believed in God, no.
Okay, well, you just answered everything right there.
But it's not my fault.
That's
God's all powerful, and he wants me to know he exists. It's his fault if I don't know he exists. There's nothing I can do about it.
No.
You have to... If you want God to see you, you want God to prove to you that that's what you want. That's what you desire.
No, think about it. If God can do anything and he wants me to know that he exists, then I should know that he exists because he can do anything. He can make me believe because he can do anything.
The key component of what you're saying is God wants me to know. My question is, when has there ever been in the Bible or anything where God said, where he wanted someone to actually, well, no, that's bad. But what makes you think that an omnipotent being cares about just a single person?
I thought it might not be in the Bible. It might not be in the Bible, but a lot of Christians say that God wants everyone to know that he exists. It might not be true, but that's what a lot of Christians have told me. So he's all powerful and he wants me to know he exists. I should know he exists. And if I don't, then that's his fault, not mine.
But when he told the average person, it was never through God's word, it was through the testimonies of other people. That's why people went and preached. That's why you have apostles. That's why you have messiahs. That's why you have, that's who God spoke to. He didn't speak to every individual. In the Christian Bible.
If he's all powerful and all knowing, he would know what it would take me to convince me. So if he wants me to know he exists, he knows what it would take to convince me, and he hasn't done it, that's his fault, not mine.
But okay, let's use logic. So, like you said, if he's all powerful, and even the descriptions from the Bible, right? We're using that. God only came to certain people. Why did he only come to certain people? Because those are the only people who were open to his existence for him to actually communicate. The reason he didn't go to everyone is because everyone wasn't accepting or even coherent to understand, like, this is God. But the selected few were able to interpret it like this is God speaking and not just the voice in my head.
But
You see what I'm saying?
But that's not my fault. It's his fault. If he's all powerful and all knowing, he knows what it will take to convince me. He wants me to know that he exists.
You're not chosen, bro. That's what I'm definitely trying to explain to you.
He could
Everyone
do it.
is not chosen.
He could do it if he wanted to, and he's not done it. Why?
He can't do it if you're not going to accept it.
That's what I'm saying.
Accept it.
If he can't convince me, then he's not all powerful. Because there's one thing he can't do, and that's convince me.
It's probably things happen in your life. Okay. I say it like this. You know, if you want to take out other people's personal experience. Let's talk about some of your personal experience. Have you ever persevered through something that was detrimental, that was hard? Even now, you speaking to us, bro. You're alive right now. Why do you think you're alive right now?
Because my mom and dad have science.
all the bro. I'm talking about now. I ain't gonna get deep into your shit, but But do you understand? Like even like taking the upper and downer. You know what that does to your physical body? It actually sends your heart into a rhythmic.
It gets fast.
You speed it up and slow it down. It shocks the heart.
200 beats. It was something at one point.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the things that. How do you know, like things that probably would have took a regular person out that you can endure? How you know that's not God showing you He exists?
I'm sorry, the microphone's gone again. I can't understand.
Oh damn. Well, go ahead. Y'all rock out. I gotta switch y'all.
All right. So here's part of the problem, right? Is even if something really dramatic happened in your life that was a blessing, it's most likely that you would write it off as something that you did, or just good luck, or something wrong.
I know I'm repeating myself, but you don't seem to be understanding. If God is all powerful and all knowing, He would know exactly what it would take to convince me, and He wants me to know He exists, according to Christians. And He's all powerful, so he could make me convinced that He exists, and He hasn't done it.
No, but what is this thing that you keep talking about that He wants? No. I know you don't think it's your fault. You keep talking about that He wants you to believe. Why do you think that?
Because a hell of a lot of Christians have told me. I've been doing this 20 years.
But that's people that are preaching. That's people that are preaching. That's not. That's
no,
not
they're not.
good.
They don't say they want me to believe. They say that God wants me to believe He exists.
Okay, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that that's what God wants.
I presume they were getting it from the Bible. I don't know. They might not have been, but might have been making shit up. A lot of Christians say, you know what I mean?
And see, that's why I say it's important for you to practice, because you're going off of what other people said versus what you read or what you personally experienced. That's why I asked you when you was reading the Bible, when you was going to these Catholic classes or whatever, what did you experience? Like, what was your experience? Was you there just because you had to be there, like bro said, or were you applying the lessons that were taught to see what comes out of the lesson?
I've chosen to go to church. I didn't choose to go to the schools I went to, but I've chose to go to church and stuff, and I chose to read the Bible. So, yeah, I chose.
Why did you choose that? Why did you choose that?
Because if God exists, I want to know. It would be in my best interest. If the Christian God exists, I don't want to be tortured forever. If God exists, I definitely want to know. I wouldn't argue with him or anything. I might not worship him because I think he's a moral monster and a genocidal maniac, but I definitely.
And what have you done to? And what have you done to allow God to exist in your life? What have you done?
I've just said I've read the Bible. I've prayed thousands and thousands of times.
You gotta. You read a. Okay, so let me ask you this question: if you read another book, that's you just gonna take it for what it is?
No, I didn't take the Bible for what it is. I didn't believe the Bible. That's the point. I read the Bible.
So you read something 1,000 times, or you read it many times, and you prayed thousands of times. Let's say you were reading a book, a novel that was fiction, right?
Yeah.
and it was supposed to be funny, right?
Yeah.
But you don't believe in laughing. You're going to read that book. What do you think you're going to get out of it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't laugh. But
You wouldn't laugh. Yeah. And then
so you're saying I need to believe the Bible before I read it?
What I'm telling you is
No, he's saying you gotta be receptive of what's possible. You're doubting it before you even
Again,
read
the
it.
sixth time, I think it's possible that God exists. I'm not denying that.
Look, this is what check this out. I'm trying to bypass his defense mechanism. His defense mechanism is this, right? He's read it, he knows it. But what I'm asking you, what are you applying? That's the key. That's how you get the work. That's how you get the wisdom. Do you know the damn, why is it skipping my mind? Do you know how you acquire wisdom? How do you acquire wisdom?
There are lots of ways, like experiential, doing things, reading books.
Is knowledge applied over time? Is knowledge, information that you have that you apply over time? That's where wisdom is gained. So if you're just knowing something and not applying, you just have information of it. You have no wisdom of it because you haven't put it into practice. And over time, putting knowledge into practice, you gain wisdom. You gain a comprehension of something because knowledge is just truly understanding something. You literally under the information. You just understand it.
But I don't have knowledge of. I don't believe the Bible is true. I don't have knowledge that the Bible is true. So I can't apply knowledge that the Bible is true. I don't believe that it's true. I don't.
Because that's the point that everybody's saying. That's the whole.
That's what we're saying to you. The only thing you have right now, this is what you're telling everybody here. The only thing that you have an experience of reading the Bible. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have.
That's more than most Christians are in their belief. I don't.
Right. So if that's all you have, you think that if you don't put no experience into applying it into your everyday life, you're not going to receive anything because you don't gain experience. You're still a rookie at something. You never had the experience of trying to put this into your life. All you did was read the book. It's like a self-help book. If you only read the book and you don't apply it, are you helping yourself?
But he said that what wisdom is the application of knowledge. If I don't consider the Bible to be knowledge, then I can't applicate it. I can't have an application of knowledge because I don't think it's knowledge. So I can't gain wisdom. I have to believe the Bible.
Yes, because you haven't even taken the first step in believing that it's possible.
That's
You're
not my
just
choice.
reading it.
I don't choose my beliefs. I'm either convinced something is true or I'm not convinced.
Okay.
That's not.
So let's go a little deeper into what you just said. Let me go a little deeper into what you just said, right? So a knowledge applied over time gains you. Okay.
Yeah.
So even of the Bible, you just have awareness. You have no knowledge, like you said. You have no knowledge of it, right?
But I can't choose that. I can't choose to know that the Bible's true when I don't believe that it's true.
So when you read the Bible, let me ask you this: when you read the Bible, did you take it literally?
I don't think it's true either way, literally or
Okay, this is what I'm saying though, because I'm about to break the Bible down a little.
Yeah.
And probably give you more interest in reading it a different way. You understand the difference? I mean, that's why I asked, did you take it literally? Like, okay, this is written word, this happened, this happened, this happened. But we know that the Bible was written, especially the New Testament, is written in parables. So when I say read it and apply it, you have to understand that parables is a story told, and within that story has context. And understanding that context is more important than understanding the literally reading word for word. So if you read the story of Samson and you realize, okay, this dude got his hair cut and he lost his strength. But that wasn't the context of what the story had within it. It was saying this was a gift given to God, and this ability came because you had this gift. So once you took the gift, now you lost that divine connection. So you can apply that to different aspects of yourself, not just your hair being cut off, right? But the abilities that God gave you. You know, when you don't nurture them or flourish them, you tend to lose them. That's the meaning of it. So if I have a gift given that I'm better than everybody else in this, I understand this is gifted by God, but if I don't use it in the correct way, it will be taken from. That's what the story of Samson was telling me.
I appreciate it, and I'll be back probably. Or you can go to my show, but I've been up all night and it's 9:10. I need to get some sleep.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm about to shut down in a minute anyway. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Have a good one. Have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks a lot.
And see, I think like that's what I tell. It's like when you that was a great question you asked, Bob, when you said when you was talking about, you know, science is like you have to believe for it, you know, because a lot of people don't even like with certain experiments, they just say, oh, it's because of this. But have you tried it yourself? That's how things get rewritten, is by people trying new things or add new variables, and you get a different result. You get a different understanding of it. That's what I was telling them. Gravitational waves wasn't, it was presented, but we had no proof of it until just recently when we tested it, and it's like, oh shit, this it is true. But before that, it was still taught because it was a belief.
Yeah. Well, going back,
I think it's possible. Go ahead.
What's that? What's possible?
No, I thought you were saying something, Baba. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
What I was going to say was, you know, for me, I didn't really believe until long after. I kind of went through the same thing that Wild Heart went through when I was younger. I didn't really believe until I got the wisdom through life, you know. And it wasn't until I had tragedy and coming through tragedies, and, you know, it wasn't, it took a long time, you know, for me to really believe. So, you know, I mean, when you talk to somebody like this, you have to understand that they might not have had those life experiences yet, you know. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But it also entails, you know, if you go into something doubting it, what is your expectations if you already doubt it, right? That's like somebody getting married, right? If you get married and have a prenup, so you already preparing to fail in that marriage because you're setting up for it. You see what I'm saying? You're going into a thing preparing to fail, failing, like I'm going to fail, so I need a prenup so that way I don't lose everything. I get something back. If we go into everyday situations like that, are we really open, or are we guarding ourselves? Or maybe we're fearing that, you know, the change, or for his word, evolution of a thing to occur in his life. He might be afraid that it'll really change his life and that'll keep him back from it as well. We as human beings, we fear a lot of things, and it just happens to be that spirituality or religion is one of them. So, you know, we always go into a thing guarded. So that could be a possibility for him as well.
Very true.
And I'm building off what you just said too. I don't know if people truly understand how the human mind works, but if you go into something looking for evidence that it doesn't exist, that's what you will be more attuned to receive, is the evidence that something that don't exist. That's what you will be looking. So, like Bro just said, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and especially if you believe that you're owed something, when in reality it's the other way around. You know, it's the other way.
I was like, hold on,
explanation, God. You question something that you already doubt. That can't be possible. Like, even if you go into the book of Job, it's a reason why Job can ask those questions, because he had unsincere, like he already knew.
Gary about the blood. Gary,
No. Huh?
you gotta turn your
What happened?
camera on. Yeah, you had a question. You gotta turn your
Oh, she
camera on to see
proposing?
your cheeks blush. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for her to serenade me. She's gonna serenade me one time. I'm gonna have to answer that then. If you make a song about it, I already know I gotta answer it then. But yeah, it's just like we just we're so afraid of certain things in life that we won't even attempt to try it. Right? Like that's like a person who's afraid of heights. You ain't gonna get them off that first floor. You know what I mean? I ain't going. I got your hand. I ain't gonna let you fall. I don't care. I'm not going. I ain't going. Right? When you have those dynamics, that's the fear of a thing. And like I said, that plays a major role in a lot of decisions that we make. Because if we understand that faith is something that the evidence that's not been seen, but you're on your side, I need to see it to believe it, then you already don't have faith in whatever it is. That's like somebody sitting in the chair. He got to make sure, or she got to make sure all the bolts are there, it's tightened to the tightest, and then you can say, all right, I'm gonna go sit down in the chair. You got to go through all that just instead of you just sitting down and say, I know that this chair is gonna hold me up. You're gonna go through all the trials and tribulations just to see if that chair gonna hold you. That's a lot of people in everyday life. So that's just what it be.
And I'm gonna say this. I think the spirit of God was coming over him. That's why he had to get off. He didn't want us to see that transformation.
But I told you that. I told you that like five lives ago when I said, "Yo, you're reaching. Something is reaching him." But
next time, about her, come on. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You say he's so afraid. No, go ahead. You say he's so afraid.
No, I just think he's so afraid of that thing. It register. He's so afraid that it's going to register with him that it's gonna everything going to fall apart for him. Like he gonna put that all that going to drop. That Morpheus act is going to drop. The Coca-Cola is going to be non-drinkable no more. All of that's going to change, but he's afraid of that because that's a change. Or that's an improvement that a lot of people won't accept. Because I say you could change for the worse, but you could never improve for the worse. He's worried about changing for the worse if it doesn't work. That's his problem. He's so afraid that he'll fall deeper in the rabbit hole instead of saying, you know what, somebody just dropped me a lifeline and I can pull up with it. He's worried about his hands not being strong enough to grab it. Or this, that, and the third. He's making every excuse instead of just grabbing the rope to get pulled up to be saved. That's all. That's what I think.
Well, he wouldn't be talking about it if he were actually sure, right? That's how I see it. So
there's a registration going on. Like it's like you gotta, if we're gonna be religious, we gotta walk around the wall 7 times like Jericho until the thing falls down. You see what I'm saying? So he keeps inviting himself to it because he really wants to break through, but the resistance is holding him back. He like the Borg on Star Trek. He think resistance is futile, but you can break anything down with your efforts, even though he don't think he don't even understand he's putting the effort in to fight it. He don't even have that logic right now. He just think he's here because he's here. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying the proof is God is trying to show you within these 3 people that he's trying to reveal himself to you. No, because if he's not all knowing and if he's all knowing and he's omnipotent, he's trying to show you what you want him to come down. You just want him to come down out the sky and say, I am here. So what if God is green? You're gonna call him an alien. You see what I'm saying? You ain't gonna worship him right then and there. You're gonna say he was an alien.
And his problem too is he wants God to conform to his ideology instead of trying to understand God's. I mean, like, bro, you because of this, because of that, you trying to define what God is instead of accepting that it's everything. That's what I keep saying, is everything and nothing, bro. Hey, you talk about if it don't exist, God exists all the time. Then these attributes are defined from our understanding. First of all, like God created them attributes. Well, what created? God created the attributes that we're just. That's why I said He was like, well, what evidence do you have that God exists? The people describing them in the Bible. Our understanding, our first before we have our own personal experience. Look, let me tell you, like when you said personal experience, bro, I was in a car that got hit 27 times. For some way, somehow, I climbed out the car, and I felt something like I'm gonna be okay. Don't just sit here. And I'm seeing glass. Something told me not to move, bro. Like, how the fuck do my consciousness know not to move? It's go fight or flight. It's a fucking car getting shot up. I'm trying to get the fuck on, but something comfort me, bro. Like a comforting feeling. This is how I'm feeling inside. Like somebody was holding me. Like, just stay still. You gonna be all right. And when it stopped, I heard go, and I got up and ran. Unless it was, I can't explain what that shit is, but I know what it is. I can't explain it, but I know.
Right.
I know what that
that's
was.
what I'm saying. It's something. That's what we was trying to tell them the whole entire time too. You want to, it's one thing to believe it. It's just one thing to know it. Like it took them like 20 minutes to say, okay, there is a difference from believing and knowing. It's two different things. It took him that long to understand that. Like he was so hell bent to stand on his own understanding that he almost missed that understanding of there's a difference between belief and knowing. So if it takes you that long, just imagine how long you got to chisel that dark part just to receive a little bit of light. That's what's happening. He's getting a little bit of light at a time, but he just only focused on the darkest part of it instead of looking at that one light, because he don't understand that piece of light can defeat all of darkness, but he don't understand that part. So he's going to focus on the darkness until he sees all light and no darkness. That's just who he is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
he did say something interesting about that he doesn't choose what he believes, and I think that will have to change at some point for him.
Absolutely.
And then
if he ain't choosing, who's choosing it for him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's choosing it for you then?
Exactly.
You gotta let me know, because you're the only one that exists in your whole being, right? Because you don't believe in supernaturals, you don't believe in none of that. So who is choosing this for you? Right? We're not gonna call you a Satanist or nothing like that. We're just asking the question: if it's not you that's choosing, who's choosing for you?
And I want to add another story, right? So when I got my shunt, right, I believe in holistic medicine. I believe in that, right? I have healed myself through different holistic practices, or so when they first told me what was going on, I'm researching, I'm trying all this stuff, and something kept telling me, like, just have the surgery. Everything I tried didn't work, but when I had the surgery, it worked. And this is what I try to explain to people. We can believe in ourselves, but ourselves, those little voices that we think is ours, just because it sounds like us don't mean it's us. That's just what we're familiar with. When something goes against my normal, right, like the normal way I think, I understand what it is. It is more information that I don't acquire. I just walk in faith, and when I come through, I understand what that was. That was guidance from the divine.
Yeah.
Nephew, you ain't blue? Oh man, hold on. Where am I at?
Yeah, I think there were a lot more like antennas than a lot of us believe, and if you're an antenna that's not open, then nothing's going in. So
you gotta be receptive of a thing. If you ain't receptive, it's just gonna bounce all over the place. And like I said, with him, is it's like he got aluminum foil as his antenna, so it's going to pick up a little bit at a time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know that's something that as you get older and your patience has to be strong enough to deal with that type of situation, whether he understands it or not. Luckily for him, there's people that's willing to sit there with him. That's why he continues to come back. You know what I mean? So we
Mm,
just got to be who we are, and that's just the blessing about being who we are.
very true.
But let me get myself out of here for this guy try to make it to 5 o'clock again, because he don't know how to get off here either.
I'm listening to Speak right now. I might go over there. They talking
All
about
right, so
biological women and stuff.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
oh
if
yeah,
y'all want to go,
that's your thing. I'm gonna drop
that
that.
ain't my thing. I don't care about none of that. Look, man, I know I'm a look. Damon, I am a boy. Okay, that's just my
What
shit.
is a
But what other
woman? What
people
is a
do,
woman?
man, if
The
you ain't
opposite
got
of a
no
man.
womb, if you ain't got no uterus, I mean, that's just how I look at it. That's how. I mean, that's my understanding. There's a womb, a uterus, and the potential to hold life, the creating the whole life within. That's my understanding. Anything, all these nuances, I don't know, bro. They be trying to philosophize things. I mean, I have no problem with nobody do. I have gay cousins. I don't have a family member who went through transition. I don't think I do. And I love them the same. You know, I don't care what people do with their life. Man. It's just when you infringe on me, then you go get resistance. That's just what it is. As long as you ain't
Yeah.
bothering me with your ideology and concept, I ain't got nothing to do with you. But when you infringe on my quality of life, then we have an issue. Uh, so that's just how I feel about the situation. So I'm cool with everybody as long as they cool with me. You respect me, I can respect you. What you do in your bed don't matter to me, bro.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Well, thanks
Or
for
not
letting
one.
me on
And
your panel.
oh, for sure, bro. Come through
I
anytime, man.
appreciate it.
I love having discussions. You know, we talk about a lot of different things. So yeah, come through. If I got an open topic, feel free to pose questions or I believe in education. I believe in elevation through education, inspiration, and motivation. And we're gonna have fun while we're doing it. So that's what we do over here, man. I'm more about the
Nice.
information than I don't be ego tripping or nothing. Like sometimes when you hear me say I'm straight, that mean man, you can add that shit on.
Yeah.
It just means like, okay, bro, that's what you rock with. That's what you rock with. I ain't trying to convince nobody or nothing, bro. I just share what I know, and after that, I keep it moving.
Yeah. All right. You gonna head over there, or you gonna close it up over here, or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna close it up over here. I'm gonna be over at Speak. I'm gonna go. He had an interesting conversation. If y'all want to go check out Speak Easy, I don't know if we put. Oh yeah, it's in the chat right here. So the link is there. He on the purge. I don't know if he actually on the panel right now, but he is in the purge. So go check out Speak. Appreciate everybody who came through. Everybody on the panel. Baba, Ozzy hit the panel. Commander, Wildheart, and Gary. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate all the donations. I know we had Robert. We had Baba. Appreciate you, bro. We had Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, we had that dude too. That's my interpreter. You know. So he can say shit I can't. So I like Ozzy. That's my interpreter. But yeah, man, we might be back tomorrow. Or I want to try to get some stuff done. I don't know, but I will let y'all know. I plan on doing something Saturday. I'm gonna try to finish this chakra thing up. So Saturday we should be talking about the throat chakra, how to unlock it. So y'all come check me out then. But until then, y'all know what I always say: care about how you feel. These are the conversations that build nations. And if I say anything to resonate with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, we out.
What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
Get you a word. Nana boo boo.